All right, welcome back to Cemetery Mary. This game hasn't so far been as scary as I thought it would be, or as mystery as I thought it would be. But we do have, hey, welcome back, normal being. We do have we do have an ongoing mystery still. So let's just have a little bit of a recap about what's been going on using my save. No, we're not gonna use the save. We got through all 9 pages. We're on page 9 of the saves. So I don't know how much is left, and I don't want to know how much is left, but so currently, what we know. Mary, who used to live with her parents in a in basically their diner, in a town called Blackwood. It's on July 24th. In 4 days, it's going to be 4 years old. Nice. I was a little bit confused because I went to the itch.io page, and then they said, like, the game was being released on July 24th, but there was no year put there. So I got really confused for a bit until I checked when the last update was. But yeah, I did see that. What was it? So Mary lived in Blackwood with her parents. But there was, like, mysterious deaths happening, and people thought it was a murder, or were thinking, like, there's rumors going around that it's a murder. So her parents sent her to live with basically her aunt and uncle. I don't know if they're, like, blood related. But she moved in with them. They live in a cabin a little ways out of town. They moved there from their home in Dahlin City. I think that's what it's called. They're not blood related, okay. Yeah, like, I thought they were blood related at first, but at some point she said some, like, or like mostly cousin or not really cousin, or she said something like that, and I was like, oh, I guess maybe they're not, like, really blood related. So anyway, so she's living with her cousin Crowven and her aunt and uncle, her not cousin Crowven, until Crowven's parents died. Supposedly, though, they were also murdered. Or, like, that's the rumor that's going on. They didn't die of natural causes. Also, hi, Daigo. Welcome back. Thank you for the lurk. And so now they're living alone, and Mary's parents have also gone missing, and she's been receiving texts from a mysterious phone number. She doesn't know who it is. That seems to imply that this person who's texting her either has her parents or knows where they are, and that they say they're trying to protect Mary. We're on page 9. We're on page 9. So that's the mystery going on there. Meanwhile, I think we ended up on the Crowven route. So we met Crowven's friends, Theodore and Zapara. And Mary doesn't really get along with them very much. But after some events that occur where they try to prank her at a haunted house, completely unrelatedly, Theodore like dies from, like, alcohol poisoning. And so their friend group is kind of just, like, all sorts of all out of whack now. But in the meantime, Mary's discovered that she has the ability to talk to ghosts by sleeping on their graves, or, like, just being unconscious on their graves. She doesn't actually have to go to sleep. She was knocked unconscious the first time she found out about it. And she does talk to Theodore about it, and then she's sort of trying to help Crowven's friend, like, I guess it's just Crowven and Zapara now, sort of repair their like the friendship a little bit, if it's possible. But currently, the last thing before we left off that happened was that Mary went to the cemetery where she hangs out. That's where she likes to hang out. And she kind of just fell asleep next to the mausoleum. And now it's late, and the bus she needs to ride, or the last bus to take her back home, has already left. And now she's stranded in the movie theater. And Crowven is out of town and can't help her. So this is where we're at. So we have to call somebody, one of her 2 other friends that we've met before. Reginald, who was this guy who wants to lend her a book from the library, and who also took her to a coffee shop once Twyla, who's trying to do research on the murders, but she's really abrasive and seems to have some sort of history with Crowven. Some kind of history that Crowven does not want to talk about, and Mary's afraid of bringing it up with Twyla, because Twyla already seems like she might get really mad if Mary brings up anything she doesn't like. Or we can call the mysterious number, who is definitely not going to help us, but will probably just take us back to this option anyway. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to call the mystery number, and see what they've got to say about this. Let's go. I attempted calling the mystery number. No one picked up. But I did receive a text message immediately after. Yeah, this person never picks up the phone and instead just texts her even if she tries to call. Why did you call me? I don't know. I'm stuck. Stuck? Where? I missed my bus home and it's pouring outside. I'm supposed to call one of my friends, but I'm not sure who to go with. I feel bad waking either of them. I see. The most understanding mystery number ever. Can you choose for me? Choose for me? Unfortunately, I don't know your friends, so I can't. But I think you can make that decision on your own. I guess I'll have to. Good luck. I wonder why it gives us the option to call this mystery number every time. It makes Mary seem really weird. Also, I still like these movie posters. Imogen, Queen of the Galaxy. I'm pretty sure these are all parodies of some sort, but this one doesn't even have a title. I guess maybe the title is in Chinese, maybe? I don't know. For some reason this dude reminds me of Peter Griffin. And this person reminds me of like Kakegurui for some reason. Alright. Okay. We've already got some scenes with Reginald and Twyla. But Twyla seems like the more chaotic option, so let's call Twyla. I called up Twyla. I heard the phone ring a few times, and then she picked up. She sounded angry, although she didn't sound like she was asleep before I called her. Mary, what are you calling me for? Don't you know what time it is? Yeah, I know. That's kind of my problem. It's a long story, kinda, but I missed my bus home and I need a place to stay tonight. I was hoping maybe... Are you serious? After all that bullshit you put me through? Yeah. Fine. There's not gonna be any fucking nonsense, alright? And you're paying me back big time for all I had to put up with you. For all I had to put up with you. Yeah, that's fine. Of course. I understand. I don't think you do. But I'm coming anyway, so you better be ready. Twyla is such hothead. I am. Promise. And so Twyla's helping. She's so mad all the time. Twyla arrived at the movie theater to pick me up. I felt embarrassed, having asked her to come get me. Especially after I was convinced I probably wouldn't even see her again. I couldn't make myself look small enough as I crawled into the passenger seat of her car. She was fully dressed, but I couldn't tell if she changed out of pajamas just to pick me up. She seemed very annoyed picking me up, so I made sure to thank her profusely for her kindness. She didn't respond at all. The drive to her house was silent except for the rain, and the car, presumably. Unless she's got an electric vehicle. She might. Luckily, there wasn't really anybody else on the roads tonight, and we got to her house safely. Even though it was terribly dark outside, I could see that her house was gigantic, to say the least. I felt a bit intimidated as we climbed up the many steps to her front door. What car did we drive here in again? Even though I knew I wouldn't be able to see in the dark and rain, I couldn't help but try to look back towards it and see if it was something expensive. Don't fucking turn around, you'll trip, dumbass. I snapped my head back to the front and continued following her up the stairs, careful not to let the rain make it all the more slippery. When we got to her front doors, I was so relieved just to be somewhere warm and dry again. But Twyla didn't offer me a moment of rest as she grabbed my wrist and dragged me through her house. Before I knew it, I was in her room and she was digging through her dressers. And before I could even process the space I was in, Twyla threw a pair of pajamas at me and barked, "There's a bathroom down the hall. Get changed." And I followed suit. And changed suit. Though I do wish she gave me permission to use the shower. Going to bed with that icky, rained-on feeling is less than ideal. But I suppose I shouldn't complain. She's doing me a favor after all. You could ask her, Mary. You could ask her. The clothes she gave me seemed to fit well. We are around the same size after all. That means Twyla's really short too. Short and angry. After getting changed, I returned down the hall into her room. I'm glad I was at least able to remember what room it was. I knocked before entering. When I did, I saw that the lights were already off, and Twyla was wearing pajamas of her own. She was sitting in her bed, only being illuminated by the light from the laptop that sat with her, in her lap, or that sat in her, well, lap. She didn't even seem to acknowledge me as I entered. Despite the darkness, I was able to make out the shape of a blanket left on the floor that wasn't there before. I guess that's where I'm sleeping. She's so angry, even when she's looking at her laptop. Look at that face. It's amazing. She's got a little calendar that's got days marked out. Like she needs to keep track of days. Come on. She's got lots of candles. Some of them are actually used. Does she use them to light up her room? And then I can't tell what this is on the side, on the right. I'm not sure what that's supposed to be. Alright. Oh, awkward silence. Many awkward silence. Alright. So we got a positive response, positive, in quotes, response last time. We just bothered her until she responded. So I think Twyla secretly likes being, bothered. She puts off this air of just leave me the fuck alone. But she likes it when people actually are interested. Are you working on something? It's none of your business. Right, sorry. Hey, if you're not gonna sleep right away, I want to ask you something. Yeah, sure. You say you can't help me because you've been busy helping someone else lately. Busy with what exactly? Who is it? Oh, I don't think I should say. Is it Crowven? Perhaps I could have lied and said it wasn't, but I recoiled in surprise when she said it, and it definitely got the message across. Thought so. How did you know? Oh yeah, so Crowven and Twyla have history. Somehow. We don't know, yeah, I think I mentioned that, but we don't know what it is. I don't think I can think of anyone alive that hates me as much as that boy does. Oh, I don't think I can think of anyone alive that hates me as much as that boy does. I'm sorry I tried to hide it from you. Why did you? It's just that Crowven, well, he has such a strong distaste for you. I don't know if you would react the same way towards him. Huh. No. I know I have my bouts of anger, but I'm much more mature than to react like that. Do you hate him also? I don't even know how you two know each other. It's complicated. Did they date? We don't need to get into that mess right now. I see. Thank you again for letting me stay. Haha. Aren't you tired? Why don't you go to sleep? I'll be sleeping shortly too. You don't look like you'll be sleeping shortly. There's just some business I need to take care of. Alright. Yeah. Good night. I laid down and tried to get to bed despite the hard floor and Twyla clacking away at her keyboard. I did manage to get to sleep eventually. When I woke up in the morning, Twyla wasn't in her bed. In fact, it was even neatly made. I stood up and looked around. When I did, I saw a note left on her bedroom door. I couldn't help but to read it in Twyla's voice. Oh, we got some emergency sirens going on in the background. I'm just imagining Mary's doing an impression of Twyla here. Mary, I'm not really comfortable leaving you alone in my house, but I don't have any other choice. I've got something important I've got to be preparing for, and had to leave early. Still, you seem like the kind of person who would feel bad going against someone else's wishes in their own house, which is why I'm using this to my advantage. When you wake up, collect your belongings and leave at your earliest convenience. Thank you, Twyla. I see. It's not like she's wrong. Respecting her wishes, I got changed into my normal clothes and left hers folded neatly in her upstairs bathroom. I then headed downstairs and walked out the front door. I was still amazed by the size of her house. I never knew she had this much money, but maybe that was the intention. Regardless, it didn't affect me anymore as I made my way off property, searching for the next bus stop to use to head home. Or at least somewhere to I could get breakfast. I'm hungry. Mary never seems to have to worry about money, though. I wonder what's going on there. Crowven's been pretty anxious lately. He would never admit it, but it's easy to tell. He's home almost all the time, but never relaxed. He's always pacing, itching, double-checking. He's almost always looking at his phone. Sometimes I see him go outside to talk on said phone. He yells at whoever it is that's on the other end. Even from the inside, I can hear it. Inside. He's been asking me to stay inside a lot lately, too. He sounds just like my parents did back when it all started. I don't know why he asks me, but I do it anyway. Because whatever it is, it's making him worry himself sick. And I'm not going to add to that stress. I just wish he would tell me what's going on with him. But I'm not going to push either. I'll let him tell me on his own time. So as expected, I've been home all day. I haven't done much, though I'd like to change that soon. I'm reading lines so weird. If I'm staying home anyways, I might as well be productive about it, right? Maybe I'll get a little cleaning done tomorrow. A clean home is a happy home, and it may help take some of the stress away. I just finished washing my face and brushing my teeth for tonight. I was about to change into pajamas and settle into bed when I received a phone call. So late at night, I reached over to my phone to check who it was. Twyla? I figured Twyla would be mad at me still. Twyla seems like the person who would like get mad, and then when she's done, she'd just be like, okay, hey, you want to hang out? Or whatever. I don't know. She's like, just kind of, like, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to describe. There's like a word for that I'm not thinking of, or a phrase. Hair trigger? I don't know. Maybe. Why is she calling? Maybe she wants to cash in on those favors I owe her? But so late at night? I decided to pick up anyways. Mary? Twyla? She sounded like she was out of breath. Mary, thank goodness you answered. Please, I need your help. Huh? What are you talking about? Are you okay? I am, for right now. Uh-oh. Things are getting tense. Please, I need you to come get me. You're the only person I can rely on for this. I don't understand. What's happening? I don't have time to explain. My phone is low on battery. I don't know how much longer it'll last. But I'm in trouble and I need your help. Trouble? Why didn't you call an emergency number? I can't. It'll make things worse. You have to believe me. Please. I know I haven't been the easiest on you, but I'm really relying on you right now. Twyla, this better not be a test. Okay. I think I can catch a bus. Where are you right now? Do you remember when we met in the bathroom of that club? Yeah, I do. I'm near that building. I'm hiding in one of the alleys. Please hurry and find me. And whatever you do, don't go to the police. Promise me you... Twyla? Her phone must have run out of battery. I had to go find her. Crowven was asleep in bed when I answered the phone, even though he didn't really want me leaving the house. This was clearly an emergency. I had to go. I quietly slipped out of the house, making my way toward the bus stop. I hopped on the first bus that came and silently prayed that it didn't come too late. We were off to the city once again. Uh-oh. Twyla sounded really bad. Like, it was really hard for her to breathe. Is she really okay? She told me not to contact the police or anything like that. But how am I supposed to help her? I don't understand. If she doesn't want the police involved, then I guess it's not something they're supposed to know about? Is it okay for me to get involved with then? I hoped I wasn't making a mistake. There was hardly anyone walking amongst the streets tonight. In fact, I think I may have been seen only one other person out here tonight. He was eerily quiet. I had to find Twyla. Her instruction, I made my way toward that hidden club building. I just hoped she was still there. Oh god, it's an alleyway. Oh no. I checked between each crack and alley I could find, until... What the heck happened to you, Twyla? Twyla! What happened? Are you okay? Your head is bleeding. And your shirt. There's blood all over it. Your shirt is bleeding too. I'm fine. She coughed. She sounded hoarse. That's mean, Mary. She's not a horse. Don't be so loud, okay? I tried to quiet my voice, but it was difficult with the sight before me. How did this happen? I was attacked.
I really want to chug with you.
Thank you for the chug. Huh? By who? I don't know. I didn't see them. I was just trying to investigate. And suddenly something struck me in the head. I'm lucky it didn't knock me out cold. I somehow managed to get away, but I'm scared they're still looking for me. I shouldn't have gone alone. Twyla, we should call someone. No, please don't. That's more trouble than it's worth, and I don't think I'm in any shape to be interrogated right now. Please. Oh wait, But why? Please. I just called you to help me get to the hospital. My car isn't far from my leg. I think it's twisted. I can't make it there on my own. You want me to drive you then? No, I think I could do it. I just can't do it alone. Please, help me get to the hospital. Yeah, of course I will. Come on, let's get out of here. I don't think you should be driving with like a headwind like that, Twyla. I kneeled over to help Twyla up. She threw her arm around my shoulder for support. Right as we were about to turn out of the alleyway... Uh-oh, is that a gun? Oh, was that a gunshot? Twyla fell to the ground beside me. In complete shock, I turned to the source of the noise, only to be met with an even bigger shock. Oh my god, what the heck? Crowven? What have you done? Why do you have a gun? How fucking stupid do you take me for? Crowven? Mary? We're leaving. What? You just... I shot her in the leg, she'll survive. She's gonna bleed out, Crowven! You dumbass! But you won't if you leave with her. Huh? She's trying to trick you. She's really good at it, too. Maybe if she were better at it, I wouldn't have been here to stop her. I don't understand. What's going on? I'll explain it later. Just explain it, Crowven. Come on. But we need to go. Now. This is all too much. You just shot somebody. I didn't even know you had a gun. There's no time for this. You're coming with me whether you like it. I don't think so. How fucking stupid do you take me for, huh? You think that's enough to incapacitate me? What is going on? I'm so confused. I couldn't get any words out. I didn't even know what was happening. All I knew was that Twyla's arm was locked around my neck, and I felt the cool touch of metal brush across my face. Now, unless you think you're a fucking lucky shot, I'll put that gun down right now. I mean, he might be a pretty good shot. He shot you in the leg. Legs seem pretty hard to shoot somebody at. That's not really that much mass, you know? You gotta be fucking kidding me. Did you go deaf? Put the gun down or she loses a fucking eye. Shh. Bro, you shut up. Twyla choked me harder. What's it gonna be, asshole? Do you like your chances? Just do what she says. Please put the gun down. I think this is a double ruse. Something's going on here. Please put the gun down. Oh, Thank you for the hydrate, Roshi. Roshi, why are you here and not in Ellie's stream? The heck? But thank you for the hydrate. You're in both. Alright. Please put the gun down. I'm so lost about what's happening. Like, I know Crowven didn't like Twyla, but he's pointing a gun at her now. You could be— oh my god, you could be in two places at once. Double Ryoshi. I'm putting the gun down, so let her go. I won't pull any tricks. Just let her go. Crowven put the gun to the ground. Twyla pushed the knife closer to my face. I felt its teeth lightly press into my skin. Crowven's eyes grew wider as he understood what she was getting at. He held up his hands by his head, defenseless, and took a few steps back. Twyla quickly drew the knife from my face. I'm just glad she didn't manage to scratch me in the process. She then removed her arm from my neck. I didn't really realize how tightly she'd actually been choking me until she let go. I gasped for air and almost toppled over. I stood as still as I could as Twyla walked over and picked up Crowven's gun. Thanks for agreeing to come help me, Mary. I really do appreciate it. She aimed it in Crowven's direction. You were a very big help. And then pointed it towards me. Don't you dare. If you do, I ain't telling you shit. I wasn't gonna. Twyla walked over to me again. She lifted the gun above my head. Mary! I'm sorry. I was out. Okay, so Twyla's knocked us out now, and I don't know why. I don't know what's going on. These two have refused to give me information this entire time. What's going on? And Mary's confused too, but she's unconscious. Yoo-hoo! Can you hear me? Mary? Zapara? What are you doing here? Yoo-hoo! Zapara? Where am I? Where's Crowven? I was gonna ask you the same thing. Crowven went missing. Twyla did too, or at least she's very good at hiding. It's been weeks since that night. I've not seen or heard from either of them. Supposedly, Zapara found me because Crowven messaged her and told her to come get me, and she didn't hear from him again after that. I went to the police even though I know Crowven doesn't like them. They were the only people left I could think of that might help me. But just like my parents, it's turning up with nothing. No clues, no evidence, as if they had suddenly vanished. Zapara has been trying to help me look. I thought that maybe we were starting to get along before, but it didn't seem that way anymore. She doesn't like talking to me. I can see it. I can feel it. Her messages are short. We never meet for more than an hour at a time. She's always got somewhere to be. She's mad at me. I know she is. Can I blame her? It's like I took her last friend away. And mine too. It's all my fault. If only I should have listened to Crowven, then maybe none of this would have happened. It's like everything that had been happening came to a sudden halt. Twyla was gone, Crowven was gone. Even the mystery number stopped responding to me. Oh, we got a bad end, it looks like. Was this really it? Was this really the end? All the bad endings are so tragic and sad. I still live in the cabin. I've got nowhere else to go. I try not to bother Crowven's room too much. It still smells like him when I walk past, and I'm sure when he, comes back, he wouldn't want to see his room a mess. I try not to bother it too much, but sometimes I just can't help myself. I walk in. His hamper still has a shirt sleeve hanging off the side. His pillow's still lopsided on his bed. His curtains are still drawn. I walk over to his bed, I lie down, and I try not to cry. Oh, look at you crying. Bad end. Alright, let's see if we can find a good end. Congratulations, you've just completed a route of Cemetery Mary. Thank you for playing, but do you think you can get the true ending if you try again? Alright, first of all, let's shoot her. Mary, you can't do that, I'm sorry. I really tried. Alright, then this is just same as before. What if we say nothing? I'll put the gun down. Just leave her out of this, okay? She has nothing to do with any of it. On the contrary, she's got everything to do with it. Alright. Bad end again. Alright. What if we don't call Twyla? What if we just call... Well, first of all, let's do this. Let's call Reginald. I decided to call Reginald. I didn't want to bother him, but I didn't think Twyla would have taken me well right now. I heard the phone ring a few times, and then he picked up. Mary, it's a bit late, isn't it? Is everything alright? Yeah, well, actually, I kinda, missed my last bus home, and I was hoping maybe I could stay with you tonight? Yes, of course. Where are you now? I'll be right over. Thank you. He looks so terrifying. I saw the faint outline of Reginald's old car pull up to the side of the movie theater, and I went out to meet him. Even though it was raining, he still got out of the car and held the passenger door open for me. I told him it was silly to do that. I hope I wasn't too late. You caught me in the middle of getting ready for bed, actually. And I wanted to get rechanged. Didn't feel right to leave the home in pajamas. No, you're good. We drove off to Reginald's apartment amidst all the rain. Because it was so late, there were hardly any cars on the road, so it made the drive a lot safer. We pulled into a parking space next to his building, and he covered me with his jacket as we ran inside. So sorry I wasn't thinking. I should have brought an umbrella. I didn't mind. We stepped inside to the buzzing of fluorescent lights. Reginald led me to the stairwell, and we headed upstairs. I had no idea he lived so high up. He told me that the elevator was broken and apologized for the inconvenience. I just felt bad for him. It must be a pain to climb all these stairs, especially after a hard day of work. Once we were in the proper hallway, Reginald began to lead me to his apartment. I tried to be quiet as we moved through the hallway, not wanting to disturb any of his neighbors. This is sus. Before I knew it, we were entering his front door. Well, here we are. She looks so depressed. I apologize for the mess. If I had the foresight that you were coming, I would have cleaned ahead of time. I looked around Reginald's apartment. Is this what he considered a mess? Nothing even looked dusty. Thank you for having me over. It's pretty Spartan, though. I feel really bad having asked you to accommodate me at such short notice. I'll try not to lose track of time anymore. Don't be silly. It's a pleasure to have you here no matter what. Oh, but don't worry about sleeping on the couch or anything. You can take my bedroom. It's right next to the kitchen. I'll sleep out here. Huh? Oh no, Reginald, I couldn't. You already drove out in the middle of the night to pick me up. I can't take your bed, too. Nonsense, I insist. You'll have a much better sleep, I'm sure of it. But don't you have to go to work in the morning? I'd feel awful if you couldn't get a good night's sleep. I wonder if Reginald and Twyla are working together somehow. Oh, don't worry about me, I'll be fine. Nothing I have— Oh dear, I just realized. Huh? What? Is everything okay? You don't have any pajamas to wear, do you? Huh? Oh. Don't worry about that. I can sleep just fine in this. How can I not worry? No offense, but although your outfit is quite the ensemble, I don't think it would make for a very nice sleep. Also, it's probably wet. Why don't I go out and buy something real quick? You don't need to buy anything, just give her a big shirt. No way! That's really nice of you, but I can't accept that offer. It's so late and I doubt anywhere's even open. Oh, when there's a will, there's a way. Besides, I need to pick up some things anyway. At this late, when the buses aren't even running? Reginald, why are you so sus? So please make yourself at home. Help yourself to anything in the kitchen, and don't be afraid to turn on the TV. Your friends call him Reggie Rock? Like the Pokemon? I'll be back shortly. Before I could protest anymore, Reginald was out the door, leaving me alone in his apartment. Wait, is Reggie Rock a Pokemon? Hold on. Okay, I wasn't sure. Reggie Rock was not one of the, or like, I don't know anything about the Reggies. I just know they exist. Leaving me alone in his apartment. He's only Reggie Rock, Reginald's rock hard. Oh no. Leaving me alone Leaving me alone in his apartment. Tong, please, don't do this to me. I guess all I could do now was wait for him to get back. I plopped myself onto his couch and turned on the TV. There was some commercials playing, so I didn't know what show was on yet. Huh. What's on at this hour anyway? Before I knew it, I heard the sound of a door unlocking, and Reginald was walking through the front door. I watched as he locked the door behind him, dropped off some of the plastic bags he was carrying, and shrugged off his coat. He left one bag in his room and then proceeded to put some stuff away in his kitchen. Then he came to sit beside me. So, what are you watching? Oh, I don't know, nothing in particular. Man, he arrived so, he went out and arrived so fast the commercials hadn't even finished yet. He's probably used agility at least 5 times. Well, would you like to watch something? Or would you rather just head to bed? Now that I think about it, I can't remember the last time I actually watched something on TV. Reginald passed me the TV remote and told me to put on anything I'd like. He wasn't picky. Maybe we can watch... Oh my god. Why are there so many options? Murder mystery, obviously. Oh my god. These are amazing. What are these designs? They're amazing. Why are they on the Jimmy Fallon show? Those are perfect sprites for that, though. What is this? I need to take a screen cap of this. Screen cap acquired. It's like Dear Sherlock Holmes and... posting this in the gamepad. I flicked through a few channels until I found this one. It was playing a murder mystery movie. It seemed to be taking place on a train of all places. Oh, is this... is this the, what is it? Homicide on the Disorient Automotive or whatever it was called? It starred a detective and his young sidekick. It seemed fairly interesting. Do I watch it? Yes, Avi! Oh, really? This is what you've chosen to watch? Do you not want to? No, nothing like that. I'm just surprised. What with all that's been happening in town and all. I felt like you might stray away from this type of content. I don't know, I'm interested. Fair enough. Reginald and I sat and watched TV for a while. It was pretty nice. Though eventually I started to feel tired. I think Reginald could tell too. I yawned as I stood up off the couch, thanking him once again for letting me use his room to sleep. It's not a problem at all. I left the pajamas in the bag for you. I think they should fit. Good night, Mary. I had a pretty nice sleep, actually. I swear I know the girl in the train on the right from the Trader's Tumblr. It could be. Could be. Reginald's bed felt comfier than my own. But that only made me feel all the worse for taking it from him. I got dressed into my usual clothes and carefully stepped out of the bedroom door. After all, if Reginald was still asleep, I didn't want to wake him. But to my surprise, there was no one there at all. I knocked on his bathroom door just to make sure he wasn't using it, but there was no answer. It was then that I noticed the note that had fallen in front of his door. Mary, so sorry to leave you alone this morning. I had an urgent matter to attend to. You and Twyla both? I don't think I'll be back anytime soon, but feel free to help yourself to any food in the apartment for breakfast. All I ask is when you leave, you lock the apartment with a spare key in the end table drawer and then slide it back under the door. Thank you. I'll talk to you later. I see. I didn't really feel comfortable taking Reginald's food, especially when he's not home, and especially not after all he did for me. I followed his other instructions and left the apartment. Wonder what I'll do today. Crowven's been pretty anxious lately. He would never admit it, but it's easy to... Okay, we're back here. Oh, Twyla again. Alright. So we have to go back. We're gonna go back... Let's see. I'm gonna put... Actually, it doesn't matter. Alright, we're going to go... back to pretty much the beginning, I think, is what we're gonna do here. So this is when we first started hanging out with Crowven. No, load. Detective Steeler Woods and Loveday. Alright, so we're gonna meet with Crowven. I guess we're gonna have to listen to him. I already promised that I'd help her with some stuff, but I trust your reasons for disliking her, even if I don't know what they are. I think it's a little late to back out of the arrangement, but I'll definitely take what you said to heart. I'll be careful. Good, you should be. Come on, let's throw our trash out. Alright. You will. At least that's what's planned. You shouldn't worry yourself sick over something like that. I promise I'm taking extra good care of them. Somehow that's still hard to believe. You'll see. I wouldn't do anything to disappoint you. When will this be over? Soon, hopefully. I just need more time. You'll hang on for me, won't you? Do I have a choice? Haha. Sweet dreams, Mary. Alright. What? Alright. I don't remember what I picked this time. Or we're gonna overwrite the save because it doesn't matter. Alright. So. I'm almost certain this just doesn't matter, but let's just answer anyway. He responded with a simple okay, and after that I was at the door. Alright. Let's view another memory. 13th birthday. Not to say I didn't enjoy my following birthdays or previous birthdays, but my 13th birthday was especially enjoyable. That was the day my parents got me a tarantula. I'd been begging them for months, and they finally gave in and let me get one. I always loved tarantulas, despite the way others often view them. Or maybe it was in spite of how people viewed them. But I always knew they were gentle if you were nice to them. The way you should be. I picked up the biggest and fuzziest one they would allow me to get. I named her Shelly the tarantula. And I'd collect seashells to put in her enclosure. I even put cute little bows on the outside of it. I always wanted to show Shelly to others, but of course, they didn't like her as much as I did. Aww. I really loved Shelly, but she ended up getting sick. Really sick. None of the vets could even figure out what was wrong with her. Around sometime last year, she died. Oh, that's so recent. I was so miserable I didn't even want to eat. But my mom knew my weaknesses. She began to make all of my favorite foods for me. And it was hard, being hungry and miserable at the same time. Even though it was just food, it helped me feel a lot better. Standing there, it's almost as if I could smell her still making it. And Dad would sit with me at the counter and make sure I got my fair share of dad puns for the day. That's what being a good dad is all about. I loved being able to sit with them and eat and just joke around. But now it's all covered in dust, and no one's here. Alright, let's visit Mom and Dad's room since we have not done that yet. I decided to walk up to my parents' room. I just missed them so much I couldn't bring myself not to. I stepped into my parents' room. They have love with like the I love you sign. And they've got a manta ray. This is big man representation here. I stepped into my parents' room. The curtains were drawn open and warm light flooded into the room as the sun finally came out from behind the clouds today. I could still smell some of my mom's perfume lingering in the air. Everything was so neat, just as they had always kept things. You wouldn't even have guessed they were kidnapped. There was no signs of a struggle, or even any sort of mess at all. Maybe they weren't kidnapped. Maybe they went along. I mean, still technically kidnapped, but maybe they came willingly. The bed was made, and all their stuff was exactly where it should be. The only thing different was a fine layer of dust for how long it had been, and the fact that my parents weren't here. I sat on my parents' bed. It always was softer than mine. I remember sleeping here as a little girl, even when I didn't feel quite big enough to sleep, or when I didn't feel quite big enough to sleep in my own bed just yet. Mom would help me build pillow forts here sometimes, and we would hang up a sign that said "No boys allowed." It didn't take long for me to start crying. I missed my mom and dad. I never even got the chance to say goodbye to them. The last message I got from them, it was my mom telling me she hoped I would sleep well that night. And then the next day they were gone. Just like that. What do I do now? What if they never come back? What if I already saw them for the last time? I ended up falling asleep on my parents' bed. I was already exhausted from my lack of sleep, and crying certainly didn't help in that respect. When I woke up, I was unaware of how much time had passed, but I felt groggy and didn't think I should stay any longer. It'd probably just make me feel worse. I got up from the bed and began to head back downstairs. Okay. Alright. So we're gonna do this again. No, we're gonna... Why don't we just do it again? Alright, we're gonna call Crowven. When we investigated my room, I noticed one of my plushies disappeared. It was one of my favorites, and I always kept it right on the shelf next to my bed, so it couldn't have gotten lost so easily. Did they take it? That thought put my stomach in knots. To think they must have been in here while I was dozing off in the other room. So this is like the opposite of last time we stayed in her room, and she was suspecting that they visited the parents' room. Oh god, I don't... After we searched every room, we headed back down. Okay. Anyway, something's wrong with Mom. I don't know if this matters. Also, this is later than I remember it being. Yes, I apologize for being late. Oh, no, don't apologize. She was never the kind who got upset over silly things like that. I'm sure she understands your reasons for being late. Still feel bad about it, though. Truthfully, she was only an acquaintance of mine, Lying Mary, and I didn't know her all that well. But still, I'd like to pay my respects. So I'm sorry I'm late. It's alright. She wouldn't want you to feel bad. Forgive me if this sounds rude, but what is your relationship to her? Me? Yes, I'm Spella's mom. I never met you before, have I? That's okay, lots of people haven't. I'm sorry for you. Okay. But we didn't ask this one before. Oh, it's... You do not have to. I'm sorry if it was too intrusive. See, she was sick, you see, for a very long time. She was in the hospital for a while. We always thought that she was going to get better. It always seemed that way, at least. In the end, well, things didn't go as we thought they would. I see. I'm very sorry that happened. It's alright. We tried our best. You think she's scared? Okay. I'm sure she's happy. After all, look how many people came to say goodbye. They all left her such nice gifts and pretty flowers. So she knows they're thinking of her. I think it'd be impossible not to feel happy, seeing how many people cared about you until the very end. Wherever her spirit may be, I'm sure she's happy. Especially knowing how many people came to wish her a warm send-off. You really think she's happy? I do. Well then, I'd like to believe it too. I'm sure she would want that as well. Okay. Alright. We're gonna win this fight. We're gonna save Scum until we win it. You sure you haven't been here in a while? Yeah? I don't know. I feel like you're lying to make me feel my guard. Lying to make me let my guard down. Ha! The scar. You know. We're gonna win this fight, okay? I won! Whoa, I actually won this time? Not bad. Now you're sure you don't come here on your own time sometimes? Never, I swear. I'm just messing with you, Maris. Nice job. Alright. Are they still alright at least? They are. Yet I never hear from them. Why is that? It's safer that way. I promise you. Why did you even message me in the first place? I thought it would help you feel better. Alright. Let's continue. Here. I've heard great things about you. I've heard nice things. Mary, you could try to be a little bit more convincing. I heard nice things about you, was all I could mutter out. They appeared more rough. Okay. I promise it's gonna be okay. You cannot see Crowven's name in this history on this background. Really? That guy, he seems pretty no nonsense, doesn't he? Relax, I know what I'm doing. As long as you're with me, Mares, you're good. Well, except for these next few seconds, but just follow Zap and Theo. They'll show you how it's done. Currently not working. It's just been a bit of a difficult time right now. Luckily, I've been able to stay with Crowven while I try to sort things out. He's been very generous letting me stay. Ooh, Crowven's letting you have it easy, huh? Alright. He doesn't mean it. Just because he's been cranky lately, that doesn't mean he means to hurt my feelings. I know that he doesn't try to. But these people, I just met them, and yet the way they talk to me, Crowven didn't even seem to mind that much. Right? It's Twyla. Alright, we're gonna refuse Twyla this time. That's very nice of you to offer, but I'm sorry. I wouldn't feel right abandoning the people who invited me here, even if they have been a little nasty. Suit yourself then. Alright, so this is gonna be new. Twyla left the bathroom without another word. I followed shortly after. I didn't see her after exiting the bathroom again. It almost seemed like there was more people than when I had entered. It caught me a bit off guard, but I tried to keep my composure as I made my way back to our table. Even though I didn't really feel like going back, it was the right thing to do. I was invited here after all. Besides, if I went off with Twyla, Crowven might get worried about me. Because he still cares. Yeah, he's gotta. I returned to the table and Crowven clumsily got up to let me slide into my seat again. He looked intoxicated already. Hey, sorry. Did I miss anything?
Nothing much except Crowven down in 2 of those little shits he's drinking already.
Oh, really? I'm waiting for him to throw him up. We're betting on how much he can get to. I don't think he's gonna make it to double digits. Oh, is he okay?
I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I keep an eye on him.
Yeah, I try to. Everyone's eyes are always on Crowven already.
Mares.
Yes?
Just tell him about that thing you do. Like, you know it better than me, so, tell us.
Yeah, something about the graveyard, right? We like that place too, so... Oh, do you? I don't recall ever having seen you there before, but... Well, Alright. I think they would like the sneaking into funerals part. Not gonna lie. I like to spend a lot of time there, so I'm quite familiar with the layout. I like to leave flowers on lonely graves sometimes. I also, on occasion, I sneak into a funeral or two.
Oh, now. That's something I didn't expect that as opposed to Goody Two-Shoes.
We're becoming friends with them! Let's go! Talk about a party crasher.
Tell them the nickname they call you.
Some folks have started calling me, Cemetery Mary. Because I'm, like, always there. And Mary's my name. Oh, that's you! I heard that name before. I just didn't expect Cemetery Mary to be all puny and polite. Oh? Yeah, I thought it was like some kind of urban legend, you know?
We thought it was a ghost in the cemetery.
Like, beware the dreaded Cemetery Mary! She creeps among the graves of her victims, and you could be next! Oh no, I'd never!
Oh, now that I'm thinking about it. Cemetery Mary. I like it. Sounds like a band name. Or the name of a visual novel. Mind if I use it?
Oh, you're in a band?
Oh, nah. The only people...
Hi, Fire, how's it going?
The only people I'd have to start a band with are...
Brain, please.
Focus up, brain. The only people I'd have to start a band with are these 2 chuckle fucks. And the only thing they know how to play is with my temper. Hey, don't say that, man.
I'm doing pretty okay. On this Saturday, I woke up a little bit late. And my lunch was some French fries. Because it was fast. I didn't even finish them. I'll eat something better afterwards. I basically just woke up like 2 hours ago. Hey, don't say that, man. Yeah, you love us.
Love is a strong word.
Don't be fucking rude. Zapara hit Theodore with the ends of her sleeves. That's funny. She just uses her sleeves to whack people. He laughed. Crowven laughed. I laughed too. I found it a lot easier to join in on their conversations. Heck yeah. At least easier than it was before. I was kinda glad to have decided to return to the table. I still was a bit uneasy, of course. I did just meet them after all, and they were all way closer to each other than to me. But I felt like maybe after a lot of time, they could grow to be some of my friends too. I would really like that. Just wish they didn't say that stuff before. That's all. As the night went on, Crowven had downed quite a few drinks. He was hopelessly drunk, flopped over the table, and only able to giggle to himself. Drunk Crowven. He's such a vibe. He never used to be this bad when it came to night. Is it because you're scared? Don't be silly. Of course I'm scared. Really? I have every reason to be. Maybe even more reasons than you do. If you can believe that. You still haven't answered me, though. What is it that you do? Okay. Oh, we're still having this conversation, I guess. And then what is it then? Maybe I shouldn't have introduced you to that. Introduced you in that club. I promise, you just met him in the wrong environment. No, Mary! No, you were being friends! Stop this! Oh boy. Mary is creating the problem this time. What you've got there? Haven't you thought it might be why someone's here in the first place?
Oh, come on, it's not that serious.
It is this serious. This is someone's final resting place. Okay. Hey, this is a cute song. Alright, how should I... What happened? To what? I don't know, I just woke up. Good morning, then. This is you, Fire. This is you. I guess you're going on this adventure with me. Huh? Where are we going? I don't know. That's what makes it an adventure. Alright. Yeah, you just say good morning. Just like that. Yes, everything is okay. Are you sure? They're as okay as they can be. I see. I know I cannot do much in my current position, but please do not worry too much. I'm sure you have your fair share of worrying. Alright. We didn't do these before, so... I was in an old theater. The seats surrounding me seemed dusty. It looked as though they hadn't been sat in for quite some time. There was no one here except for me. And a violinist on the stage. I don't know if they noticed me here or not. Regardless, they continued playing. I took a deep inhale, trying to smell what I could. Everything smelled faintly of lilies. Sick lilies? But I couldn't see any flowers here at all. Which in my opinion is a little sad. Such a lovely musician should at least receive a bouquet. I reached out and touched the chairs, although I could see that they had fabric covering. They felt like anything but. Dust did not come off onto my hands. And the chairs themselves felt like dollhouse furniture. Plastic, like fake. The sound of an elegant violin reverberated through the theater. The violinist atop the stage continued to play, despite the fact that I was the only one here. It was beautiful to listen to. It felt as if I could sit in one of the chairs and listen for hours. But I know I did not have that kind of time. Still, what a shame to cut off such a performance so early. Alright. Are you a ghost? Okay. Am I really speaking to a dead person right now? You're old. Sorry, that came out a bit more brash than I meant it to. But you died when you were in your 70s. Okay. Alright, what are we doing here? Last time we came with. I'll see if anything changes, but... Are you telling me this doesn't look like the pinnacle of a haunted house to you? Just because it's old and abandoned doesn't mean it's haunted. But have you ever thought about why it might have been abandoned? People might leave things behind all the time. It doesn't mean anything. Come on, no bickering. Okay. Alright, so nothing seems to have changed here. So I'm going to reload. And say no this time and see what happens. When you look at the haunted house, it says, I'll kill them from the glass. Interesting. Hi, Slowpoke. How's it going? Hope you're having a good time. Good day. Alright, we're gonna say no and see what happens. You sure? Yes, I'm fine. You go have fun. Alright then. Aw, lame. Maybe next time? I watched as Crowven and his friends walked off and away from the cemetery. They didn't even make it a few steps before I felt myself shout at them to wait. Oh, I'm not sure what prompted me to quickly change my mind and come with. I don't know. I guess I was just worried about Crowven or something, and having him think of me as a liar. I felt nervous to say the least. Especially since things didn't end up that great with us last time, and I didn't want to leave a bad impression. But I was sure as long as I stayed close to Crowven out. Okay, so she's doing it anyway. Interesting. Kill them! I'll kill them! But there's nothing hidden in the middle one. Alright, let's just pass this one. Nah. But that's why we've got you, right? I mean, that isn't really... I don't know how you're expecting this to work, really. Especially when you don't have a lot to go off. Come on, no bickering. You're wasting time. Alright. Alright, we're gonna walk away this time. Oh yeah, how's Mega Man ZX going, by the way, Slowpoke? I haven't played the ZX games myself. Because they were on, like, the DS, right? I never played them for some reason. Didn't get around to it. We're not following Reginald this time. Given the recent events, I was going to say that I would be heading home instead. But Reginald popped out from the alley once again and said, "What are you waiting for? It's this way." Okay. He grabbed me by the wrist again and pulled me inside. He brought me to a door with a shiny and golden handle. It looked brand new. Amidst the grime of the alleyway, he raised a finger to his lips as if to say shh, and then he opened the door. Oh my, okay. Alright, so she's gonna have like an angry response regardless of what we pick, I think. Actually, yeah. They're animated. Alright. So I don't think that option really mattered, so we're just gonna save over it. DX is going better now that I'm getting a handle on it. Mission-based Metroidvania is a questionable choice. Happens. Let's see. You all just wanted to make fun of me. You all just wanted to make fun of me. Oh, seriously? It's not okay. Can't believe you'd say that. And she's gonna be mad regardless of what the choices are. Do you know who I'm with? No, that's fine. We're gonna explore. I don't really have much planned for the stream, so I'm just hoping to see if it's possible for me to find out the good ending by slamming my face in. What do you mean? Like, do you know? I guess one question to ask is, did I jump back far enough to be able to reach it? Or, like, when I first loaded back over to this choice, where we picked to meet with Crowven, is that far enough back that I can reach? I guess I can reach good ending from there. The game is pretty interesting, Slowpoke. Not as much focus on the mystery as I expected, but it's free and it's long, so. Do you know how about other people connected to me? And if you do, are you coming for them too? Please? Yes. Wait. Alright. Alright, we picked for him to apologize last time, so let's do this one. I shouldn't I? I know Crowven has already been having a hard time lately. And I'm sure I haven't been making things much easier for him. It's partly my fault anyways. His friends don't have to be my friends too. And even if he wanted me to get along with them, I should have stepped away when I realized it wasn't going to work. I'll try to tell him that sometime soon, when I know how and when to properly say it. Oh, so Theo just died. Rip Theo. Alright. I don't remember which one I picked last time. I'm sorry. There's nothing to be sorry about. Right. Alright. Yo, hi Theo. Why are things always green here? What do you mean? Like, everything here, it's all green. The walls, the floor, and you too. That's funny. The only thing here that looks green to me is you. Oh, while you're here, I guess. Okay. What, all of this? Well, if I knew exactly, I probably wouldn't be in this situation. I suppose you have a point. If I had to guess, though, it was probably because I drank too much. She is indeed wearing a lampshade, yes. Oh. Yeah, you see, it was Crow, Zap, and I, and we were chilling, right? Having a few drinks, laughs all around. An hour or so passes, I'm not feeling so well. Like, I had a headache before, but now I'm feeling nauseous on top of it. I tell them I'm gonna run to the bathroom, and I do. Fucking puking up everything I ever ingested, I tell ya. I start coming out of the bathroom, and man, do I not feel great. I try to call over to Zap and Crow, but it's like I can barely get my words out. And I figure if I'm gonna be down for the count, I at least don't want it to be somewhere lame like in front of the men's bathroom door. So I scramble over to the pool table, interrupted the game of whoever was there, and lied down on top of it. Next thing I know, I woke up here. And you knew you were dead? Yeah, can't explain how, but you just know. I see. So, hell on. Okay. Alright, we already listened to the sleepover hat story, so now it's time for the orange juice story. The orange juice story? Oh boy, how do I even start with this one? Well, I mean, I kind of assumed it was like spiked orange juice or something? Oh, no. No. Honestly, you'd probably wish. Huh? Okay, so like... have you ever heard, or ever made orange juice come out of someone else's face? What? Okay, so, we're at the beach, summertime, chillin', whatever. Crow decides he's just gonna hang out under the umbrella. That's fine, that's cool. I go play with Zap in the ocean a little bit, come back down to the boardwalk, get myself a soda, yada yada yada. I see Crowven, I'm coming up from behind. He's still sitting under the umbrella. I decide I'm gonna be an asshole and scare him. I come up from behind and slap my hands onto the back of his shoulders. And? What I didn't realize is that Crowven had been drinking some sort of orange juice or shit. And I scared him. He fucking coughed it right out. I'm talking hacking. I'm talking orange juice all over his chest. But like, it didn't just come out of his mouth. It came out of his nose too. And also, a bit squirted out of his eyes. Oh no! Oh god. I've had that happen to me with like milk before, I think. Was it milk? Something like that. It was like, ugh. Ow. I don't like imagining that. Oh, don't worry, it gets worse. He grabs my soda out of my hands to get its water to rinse his eyes out with. Pours it directly into his eyes. Oh my god. Was he okay? Wait, what is it? Soda? How could you think it was soda? Or the soda was water? Oh no. I mean, yeah, eventually. He bit his own arm to keep from swearing in front of all those kids at the beach. And Zipara never knew this story? No, by the time she came back, Crowven was all taken care of, and I didn't really feel like talking about it. I'm sure if you asked him, he'll tell the story today, though, and he'd laugh. Probably. I see. Thank you for telling me. Oh yeah, dude. It was a great day. Oh, and one more thing before you head back. Say hi to Zipara, too. Okay. You poured soda in your eyes? Is that the real reason why they were redder than usual? Alright. We're trying to stay away from Twilight this time. I don't want the killer on my tail. If that were true, you wouldn't have offered to help me in the first place. Why are you making excuses? Oh, it's another fight. Can't be around with you anymore. Huh? What? Was I? No, I didn't. I don't think so. Really, I'm sorry. I was just leaving. I don't. Okay. Yeah, of course. Crow cares about you and all. And even though we didn't know you long, Theo and I were always hearing great things about you. But even so, I would never stop you from seeing Theo. It's just nothing's been. We said I'm here for you last time, which is odd, but you know. Crowven's here for you, and I am too. Okay. All right, we're getting near the end again, but I don't know what's happening, or what our result is. These are all. Yeah, I know. It's just one thing after another. Is it ever gonna stop? Well, eventually. But you won't have to worry about me. I'm fine. You aren't fine, and I'm not fine either. I don't want the cycle to continue, where all we do is feel miserable again and again. Alright. It's not terrible. It's just the harsh truth of the situation. I'm never gonna see them again. That's just a fact. It can't be terrible. It can't be happy. It can't be sad. It can't be anything. It just is. And it's like I said, I can't change that. I'm sorry I'm fast-forwarding through everything, because we've already seen some of this before, last time. But they're just having a heart-to-heart talk about all the people that Crowven has lost and how people she's lost now. So how can you tell me it's a terrible way to think when it's only the truth? I don't think you should be thinking like that. Alright. I don't think anything will have changed. We're gonna call Reginald, though. And we're gonna watch a different show. Let's watch a horror. I flicked through a few channels until I found this one. Is this, Amanda the Explorer? There was a horror movie playing. I have mixed feelings about some horror movies, but there are ones that I like. Do I watch it? Yes? You know, I have to say, I'm a bit surprised. After getting to know you, I wouldn't take you as the kind to like these movies. I like some of them. I'm not really scared by them, because I know it's all just actors and special effects. But I think some can have really good ideas, so it's nice to see. I understand. I'm actually a bit of a fan of horror myself, you see. Really? Although I'm like you, they don't really scare me, but I like seeing what they try to do. Alright. We're still here. We're still a bad end. Alright. Now time to bash my head against the wall to figure out what is the good, or how to get a good ending out of this. I'm a bit of a horror enjoyer myself. Alright, married couple came in. I knew they were married because the bride was wearing her gown. I was still a little girl then, so she looked like a princess in my eyes. Alright, I'll ask if I need help. She looked like a princess in my eyes. Her dress was poofy enough to lose yourself in, and she attracted quite a bit of attention when she came in, mostly from me. When my dad asked why they were here of all places, the bride said that she wanted her grandfather to see her in her dress. Aww. But her grandfather was dead and buried in the cemetery next to us, so it was the closest she would get. I remember talking to her. She was so kind, or at least that's how I remember her. I asked her if she was sad that her grandfather died, and she said she wasn't. She said he wasn't gone, just someplace else. She could visit him at any time right in the cemetery. Hold on a second. Gotta double check something. Sorry. Alright, she could visit him at any time right in the cemetery. Those words, that idea really stuck with me as a child. Maybe that's one of the reasons I enjoy visiting it so often. It probably sounds really silly, but it really meant a lot to me in the moment. I can't remember what it is she came in here for exactly, but I do remember the exact seat she sat in at the counter. I would always try to sit there too whenever I could, but now it's all covered in dust and no one's here. Alright, go back to her room. I wonder if this is... Okay, it's deterministic. Hello. Hi, I'm, alright. So I'm just taking it easy right now, kind of. I want to see what I really want to do before I start jumping into things. Alright. I like to spend a lot of time there, so I'm quite familiar with the layout. I like to leave flowers out on lonely graves sometimes. And I also on occasion... Okay. Let's eat a funeral or two. Huh. Okay. In that case, are you worried it's a feeling? Couldn't find some other place to hide it, is that it? If I'd have known this was here, I never would have let it stay. How could you even think to do something so disrespectful? Okay. Yes, and I am. So it all checks out, does it not? I mean, I guess so. Okay. How should I know? I'm not the dead person expert here. Well, neither am I. Are you sure? You're the one always visiting us, after all. I'd say you're more like us than them, if anything. Alright. Bumping into Reginald. Yeah, that's definitely how I feel. Alright. No. Alright. This seemed like the most logical conclusion to make. Close your eyes, things go black, then you wake up somewhere completely different. Not really a lot of ways you can go from that. Oh, while you're here. Spiral staircase time. Spiral staircase story? Oh, that's a good one. You know, despite our recent activities, I don't really consider myself an urban explorer. But this one time, Crow and I went to go check out this old firehouse. Oh? Well, I don't remember why exactly. Maybe we just looking for a cool new hangout spot. Anyway, so we get up in there. It's actually surprisingly well lit. There's a lot of windows. The place is completely abandoned. I'm talking like almost nothing but walls and a floor. Doesn't seem to excite Crowven any less, though. He's acting like we just found a pot of gold or something. Anyway, further to the back, there's a staircase leading up. Spiral staircase, because, you know, firehouses did that, I don't know. Crowven gets, like, so hyped. I'm starting to think the only reason he wanted to go there was to slide down the fireman's poles. So he rushes on over there, steps into the staircase. Few steps in, whole thing just crumbles. Wait, what? Was he okay? Yeah, he was fine. Well, huh? Okay, see, this is why it's a story. Thing crumbles, Crowven falls off. I rush out over, see what's wrong. Man, I don't know how. This kid somehow manages to injure his face even though he fell on his ass. Wait, Like where on his face? Like a broken nose? Yep. He told me he got all busted up from dropping a weight on his face.
No, he's just a fucking idiot. Anyways, his fucking nose is bleeding. He's wearing up a storm. I don't think I laughed that hard in years. But I cleaned him up, get him some medical help, and we never went back. I could tell, though, that he was still kind of pissed. Like, he was definitely wanting to go down those fire poles. So I took him to a playground. After and told him he could slide down one of those. As you can imagine, he wasn't too amused.
I see. I guess I'm glad it all ended up working out. Alright, thank you for telling me the story.
Thank you for helping me relive it. I'm gonna be thinking about it non-stop now. Oh, and one more thing before I...
Stop going in abandoned buildings. Serves you right breaking your nose like that. You'd think that you would have learned something. Alright. Yeah, I'm sure you've been. All those headstones don't talk to themselves, right? I'm sorry, Twyla. I just can't. I'm sorry. It's all too much. It's all been too much. The situation, the intensity, I can't catch a killer. I shouldn't have told you that I wanted to help. I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I hope you can understand. Oh, I understand. Alright. Huh? No? Okay, I'm okay. Okay. Thanks. I hope that's true. It is, I promise. If you say so. Maybe I'll visit him more often if that's okay? Yes, of course. I'm sure we'd love that. Please visit as much as you need to. Thanks. Alright. It always starts the same. It begins with devastation, but over time, those feelings, you get used to them. It's like a blur. You stop worrying about who died and start worrying about who's next. There is no rest, so you become someone who doesn't need... Okay. It's a lie and you know it. Let's stop trying to convince ourselves that everything is okay. We both know this is the farthest thing from the truth right now. It's really normal to see one after loss, you know? And it doesn't have to be a forever thing either, but maybe for the short term? I don't want to think about it right now. Thanks for the consideration, but that's not really what I want to hear right now. I'm fine. Mom and Dad have been whistling for weeks on end. I haven't heard from them in over a month. I don't think anyone's even looking for them anymore, and I'm not either. I feel so terrible about that. They're gone, and what am I even doing about that? I feel so awful. I feel so helpless myself. And you're the only person I have, so when you treat me the way that you do, it makes me feel... I feel so... Sorry. I'll try not to let my feelings get the best of me anymore. Alright. Yeah, I know how it does. That's what everyone else always says, right? What if I don't want it to? Getting better is like getting over it. And what would that mean, right? I'd have to become a streamer. I'd have to start playing that Sisyphus game and only up. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, Slowpoke. Getting together, crowd control, all of those games that nobody enjoys playing, but they do it for the views. Isn't that kind of cruel? To not miss them every day feels like an asshole to move in itself. Or feels like an asshole move in itself. I don't think I can ever really feel better. Because if I did, I would just end up feeling guilty. I don't think you should be thinking like that. What else am I supposed to be thinking? Listen, I know I'm not always the brightest girl, but if there's one thing I know about its loss... Alright. Can't explain it, at least not now, but whether you believe it or not, alright? Just gonna stay quiet. Hey, if you're not gonna... Okay. Nothing has changed. Alright, I'm gonna take a quick peek here. Wow, so that's interesting. I did a quick little checky check. Wait. Hold on a second. Which questions do we have? Should I be afraid for my own safety? Did my parents, okay. Will you tell me who you are? Alright, we're gonna start from here. Alright. I'm missing something. I'm missing something. What? Alright, let's start from the beginning, I guess. Alright. Go to bed. I decided I'd be better off just going to bed at this point. After a few more moments of awkward sitting, I went upstairs and headed to my bedroom. Okay. So this is the question that I was missing. Will you tell me who you are? Alright. Let's just go one by one. So we're doing the same things. I don't know them after all, even if they were in my they are in my keeping for now. Alright. Next is cemetery. I don't remember what this question was, or what I answered here. How's that supposed to know? I'm sorry, what? Don't try to turn this into another stupid fight, Mary. Hey, take it easy on her. She's my cousin, Vasilis. I can talk to her however I want. Maybe you should take a chill pill. Sorry, Mary, could you please go? Alright. Aww. Alright. I think this doesn't matter. And let's go to the cafe to meet Twyla. Alright. And now we're here again. So... speedrunning strats. Alright. Just save here. Alright. So let's go meet Kim. She's at battle. Watch my back. Who you really are. Is this choice important? Don't know. Who knows? Alright, I think this doesn't matter. I don't think this matters either. And we're gonna win this match. Alright. Skip everything that isn't important. Sneak into funerals, because we already picked that one. Because you're scared. I don't think this matters. I don't know. Turn around and you were here. Guess you're on this adventure with me. Alright. Alright. Bird plush is large. It is indeed large. Alright. Yay! Walk away. You're gonna making fun of me again. Don't you have anything better to do? Alright. Do you know who I'm with? Choices feel kind of arbitrary. Alright, don't worry about it. Please understand. I'm really sorry, Twilight. I'm not cut out for this. I know, right? Even just helping you out in the library, I couldn't do much. I couldn't possibly drag you or your investigation down. I don't think I would be much help at all. I should have told you earlier. I'm sorry. Do you understand? Alright. Okay. I've not found anything interesting yet. Oh! Hello. It's been a while since anything really interesting has happened. The last exciting thing was when I caught in the rain and had to duck into the movie theater that night. Twilight hasn't messaged me about what happened? Oh, okay. So this is the morning after. Twilight hasn't messaged me about the investigation or anything like that. Though I'm sure she wants me to make up for all those favors for her real soon. So I kept my phone handy just in case she needs me for anything. So far it's been nothing. I don't know if that's a good or bad thing. I haven't been messaged by Reginald in a while either. Sometimes I wonder if I should message him first. But he's probably busy and I don't want to annoy him. Even the mysterious number that had been texting me hasn't been responding much anymore. And by much I mean at all? I have no idea what happened to them. It worries me a little bit. But if there's one thing that's been happening lately, it's that Crowven has been spending more time with me. Even if he still does his own thing a lot, he's been making time to see me too. We go on walks together and we'll catch a movie if he's free. Sometimes the partner joins us. I still don't know what our relationship is, but I think I feel better about it the more we're all together. I had just been brushing my hair in the morning when something smelled like smoke. Crowven, is that you? Crowven? Concerned, I rushed downstairs to make sure everything was okay. And once I turned into the kitchen, I saw... Yo, Mares! It was supposed to be a surprise. Crowven, you're making breakfast? I'm not usually this bad at it, I swear. But you know that, right? Hi, Link, how's it going? Thanks for dropping by when everyone should be going to watch Ellie's stream. What is this? Also, Hope FF14 is treating you well. I haven't played it myself, but... And I don't know if I want to. I'm interested in this story, but I don't know if I actually want to play it. Of course I do. Why? I just thought it'd be nice, you know? Crow. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I helped Crowven clean up the situation so that we could sit and enjoy the morning together. When he asked me, "Hey, Maris, I know this is sudden, but mind taking a trip somewhere with me today?" Alright, please, reveal to me stuff about this mystery game. I'm itching for mysteries, Sullivan. You know something? Despite how long I knew Crowven and his family, I've never been to Howland City myself. Well, no. I've come here to visit their home on holidays, and there was that other event. All of it. Every single mystery, all of it. Other than that, I haven't any memories of time spent here, but I've always heard such good things about it. It makes me wonder how Crowven's family could have moved in the first place. It's so weird. What? I don't know, it just feels weird to actually be standing here. Story's pretty good. Game is rough to get through. I'm not an MMO fan, but you play it on the side a little. Yeah, I get that. I'm not an MMO fan either. I've tried, but the gameplay for them is just never really clicked with me. The closest that I've gotten to getting into something MMO-like was probably, oh, what was that game? Invictus, I think it was called? Way back when. And I'm pretty sure that's not really an MMO. It's just got action combat, and it's got instanced dungeon, quote-unquote dungeons. I think they were just more like maps. Yeah, plus you have friends to play with, that helps. Yeah, that probably helps a lot. Though I hear you can mostly play it like kind of single player. Yeah, I know you're a big 14s fan, Chiefy. Let's see. Is it everything you thought it'd be? I don't know, we just got here. Let's show you around then, see if it lives up to the hype. Are they on bicycles? What the heck? Crowven and I had a wonderful time exploring Howland City together. We rented bicycles to get around town for a bit. I couldn't remember the lazy time I rode a bike. Nice typo. There was so much room to ride, and lots of pretty sights to see. Flowers lined the streets. I finished the first expansion, but I'm still using free trial. How far does it go? Until like level 60 or something like that? or... I don't remember the name of the DLCs. Yeah, what is this jolly music? What is this? Also, is it just me or is Crowven's hair thing getting bigger? Level 70. Flowers lined the streets, and there was always more with every step you took. It felt like being on a vacation. I felt like I was a tourist. I mean, aren't you a tourist? I mean, sure, you're just like in a nearby town. But, you know, you're still kind of a tourist. How had I never visited when it was never even that far? This is true. Like, I live kind of close to San Francisco, and I never go there. Like, I used to work in San Francisco, and I would never, like, explore. I would just go there for work and then leave. Critically acclaimed MMORPG with a free trial up to level 70, including the first 2 expansions, Heaven's Ward and Stormblood. Yep. I remember when FF14 1.0 launched. Anyone remember 1.0? It got such bad reviews. I had a friend who was playing it, and he just, like, had so many complaints. And then they rebuilt it from the ground up. That was weird. That was wild. Can you imagine some other company just doing that? Just like, our game sucked so badly, we just made a new game, called it a 2.0 version, and also our opening CG was them nuking the old version. Is a nuking of the old version. Wild. I'm glad they managed to turn it around, though. It's actually making money now, right? Anyway, as I was saying, like, I live so close to San Francisco. I never go to San Francisco. Even when I was working in San Francisco, I didn't go to San Francisco. I just went to work. It was wild. I don't think I've ever been... I don't think I've ever explored anywhere other than, like, the Embarcadero area and Market Street. Gee, viewers, OMG. How do I... Ugh. My mod buttons don't exist on the creator dashboard. I don't know why. Please, Frankerface C. Please add support for this. Makes Square Enix a large percent of the whole company's profits. Wild. It's so wild. Alright, it's not as if I dislike Blackwood. Blackwood is fine the way it is. In fact, I love Blackwood, but I can see why they like living in Howland City so much. Such a gorgeous place to be. Why would you ever want to leave? Like how they just have their like default sprites just look so depressed. You have such a nice view of the sunset here. You're not looking at it, guys. Yeah. Dad always used to walk me around here because of it. He told me to he proposed to Mom here. Huh. But I think he's full of shit. Don't tell him I said that though, okay? Of course they won't. Should I do it now? I mean, yeah, sure. Whenever you're ready. Right. See you soon. Oh, we're gonna talk to the parents. I laid back against the tree. The reason they even decided to rebuild FF14 from the ground up is a pretty solid one, even though at the time it cost them a lot of money to do so. Yeah, I think FF11 actually made them a lot of money, so they knew that they had to make FF14 work. And it's also because, like, FF13 was having a bit of a screwy time, and FF15, FF Versus 13 at the time, was, like, basically in purgatory. Things were just wild back then for Square Enix. Can you believe that? Like, FF14... Yeah, FF is their flagship game. They've only released one new Final Fantasy, like, mainline Final Fantasy, since FF15. And FF15 was so long ago, and they, like, it just... did so weirdly. Apparently it got a lot of, like, purchases, though. FF15 did, like, really well in terms of, like, getting, like, sales. Which is wild, because that game was unfinished as heck. 13 was successful, but they had to leverage the Crystal Engine, because the Crystal Engine development itself was, like, so expensive, right? And so they had to go into FF, like, 13.2 and FF 13.3 just to get their money's worth, or, like, money's worth out of the engine, and then they abandoned it anyway. Man, Final Fantasy talk. I laid back against the tree. I know it isn't normally how I start this process, but I don't think I could bring myself to lie on the dirt in front of them this time. It was fine, though, I think. Close enough, right? Am I here? Really here? Alright, we're in just, like, completely new territory now. There's a house in front of me, but it's not one I recognize. Behind that front door, can it really be? I picked myself up off the ground and walked over to the door. There's only one thing left to do now. Knock. I knocked on the door. Yeah, since FF14 was a mainline game, it was a game that had to maintain Square Enix's reputation, so that's why I allowed Yoshi P to rebuild the game. It's true. I don't think I could say that any Final Fantasies were just, like, complete duds, like any of the mainline ones. Like, they tried really hard to make sure those games are, like, high quality. The biggest problem, I think, the problem game, I think, is 15, where the ending of the game felt, like, super rushed. Like, you've got this big whole open world that you could spend, like, what, 30 or so hours in just doing all the quests. And then you get to the end game, it's like 7 hours of gameplay, and it's all just, like, a straight shot. And you get access to, like, the open world again, but you can't even explore the open world anymore. It's just linear after that, even though it's got a whole world change. And then they had to add all the DLC afterwards to basically just finish the game. I never ended up playing those, by the way. I never played the extra bonus stuff that they made. I remember, oh my god, I don't know why they made the Piteos dungeon, that one platforming dungeon, but the controls are so bad. Oh my god. Why did they do this to us? Why did they think it was a good idea? But I did it. I did it anyway. I heard good things about the DLC though. What is it? But yeah, I haven't played 16. I hear mixed things about it, but otherwise that it's pretty good. I did binge Rebirth a few months ago. God, that game's so good. I need to go back and finish like all the side quests, but I haven't been feeling the urge. But I love the combat in Rebirth so much. It's so good. After, like, it took me a while to get used to what they wanted me to do in terms of, like, the synergy attacks. But after that, it was just like, très magnifique. You know? Anyway, I lifted my hand to knock again. And, when... Hello? What? Mary? Goodness gracious, what are you doing here? I think the biggest problem with 15 is how much of the story is to actually understand what's going on is outside media. It's true. I kind of like Kingsglaive a little bit. The CG animated version. I really like Luna Freya's design in that movie. She looks so much better than she does in the game. I don't know why, but she looks so good in that movie. Goodness gracious, what are you doing here? No, it's not what you think. It's nothing bad, I promise. Auntie, honey, come look. Huh? What? Come look who's at the door. It's Mary. Who? Mary. What? No, not like that. Look, come see.
I can't come to the door. I ain't dressed for company.
Oh, that doesn't matter. Come on. Aw, they're so cute. I watched as my aunt disappeared into the house going to fetch my uncle. Even though I had done this a few times already, seeing that I could really see my aunt and uncle. Mary! Aw, look at his long johns. That's what he's wearing, right? That's definitely long johns. We're so happy to see you again. She's got cross eyes. But not that kind of cross-eyed.
Hey, kiddo. How you doing?
I don't remember much about FF15's story, like how much you would need to get context outside of the game. It's really hard to see what was going on with the story, just because it's mostly just like a lot of butchered Final Fantasy Versus 13 stuff, right? Like they were originally gonna be part of like the Fabula Nova Crystallis thing. I was looking forward to that, by the way. I remember when they announced that was gonna be like the Final Fantasy 13 project thing. I was so hyped for that, and then it just fell apart, and I'm just like, It would have been so cool, like with the shared cosmology and all the gods and all that. And that only just ended up getting locked into Final Fantasy 13 and I guess Agito 13. And I didn't even end up liking 13 that much. And it was just so disappointing. And I guess I've just not been into mainline FF since then. Not really as much anyway. Maybe things will change with Final Fantasy 17.
How are you doing?
My aunt, my uncle. I miss you guys so much.
I miss you too, sweetheart.
There's so much I wish I could tell you about. And Crowven. Oh, he'd be so happy if he could see you guys. Oh, we'd love to see him too, but as much as I love that boy, I think I'd prefer not to see him for a while.
How are you anyways, kid?
It's a long story, and I don't have a lot of time, but I'm happy I can see you guys again. And I know he will be too. Ask them how they died. You didn't ask them how they died? Weren't they murdered?
So, how'd it go?
Well, I did see them.
Really? I mean, yeah, of course you did.
you did the same with Theo. What did you talk about? Well, I didn't have a lot of time to speak with them much, but they wanted you to know more than anything that they love you. I know you're going to do great. I know it's not much, and it's probably what anyone would be expecting to hear, but I know they really mean it, and aw, huggies. Yeah. Those losers would say something like that, huh? Couple old coots who can't think of anything original. That's just like them. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. I don't know where things go from here. I don't know if we're going to find my parents, or if I'll ever figure out who that mystery number was, or even what tomorrow will bring, but what I do know is that as long as I'm with Crowven, we'll figure it out somehow. Hey, come on, sit down with me. There's a little more I could tell you about. Like how your mom still looks like a movie star, and how your dad looks like he hasn't brushed his hair in forever. Good end. Not so after all. Huh? No, that's not quite right. That shouldn't be the conclusion you came to. I mean, not after all that stuff you did. Maybe this end is enough to satisfy you, but it's not really how it's supposed to happen, so that brings us to a question. Do you want to see how this is really supposed to end? I do, actually, game. I do want to see how this is really supposed to end. Do I? I do. I thought so. But in order to see how this really should have finished, we're gonna have to go back. Let's rewind it a little bit, shall we? I don't have time to do all the routes, though. I just really want to find out. I just have to do this. I have to do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's been a few days since then. Crowven seems to be doing a little better than usual. I think he's really trying extra hard right now. And he's been seeing Zapara again, too. I think that's nice. I think it's good for them. I'm happy to see them having a nice time together again. I had a nice day by myself, actually. Sometimes it's nice to just return to the cemetery for a normal day after so much chaos. I made sure I put at least one flower on every grave today, even though I haven't talked to any of them. I considered doing it, but like others tell me, it's probably not a good idea. Oh man. Coming in droves today. Like others tell me, it's probably not a good idea to fall asleep in public places, especially if there is a killer on the loose. So I decided I wouldn't do that today. But that's not what happened, though. Truthfully, I didn't mean to fall asleep, I didn't. But when I sat back against the mausoleum we have... Okay, wait, we were back here. Oh, wait. The bus! There's the bus! I sprinted to the bus and tried to get the driver to notice me. Even though I was wearing all black, the driver seemed to see me. Thank goodness. I apologized a gazillion times as I boarded onto the bus for having to make them stop me. For having to make them stop for me. But I was very grateful that I did. I have no idea how I would have gotten home had I missed the last bus. This is different. Thankfully, the rain didn't last too much longer. Or perhaps we just drove out of it. Either way, it was plenty dry when I got off the bus and onto that old dirt path. It was just a little bit dark, that's all. Luckily, my phone still had enough battery to use its flashlight and help light my way. Even though I'm sure I could walk this path in my sleep now. The house was dark as I approached it. Had I not lived here for weeks, I'd say it looked scary. Like a haunted, abandoned cabin in the middle of the woods. It was dark, so either Crowven wasn't home or already asleep. I tried to be quiet as I entered the front door, just in case he really was sleeping. As soon as I entered, I felt a wave of tiredness crash over me. I needed to sit down. Am I really so tired? And after I just slept so long? What's got me feeling like this? Maybe I should go to bed. I'd have to get out of this chair first. I just need to muster the energy first. Sleeping gas? Somehow? Carbon monoxide? Ugh. Am I still sleeping? It feels like I'm being pulled. Wait, Crowven? You scared me. Sorry about that. Could you go back to sleep for me? Why? It'll just, be Be easier for me if you are. Crowven? What are you talking about? Crowven sighed and stood up properly. Follow me, please. Crowven walked toward the front door. I could see a faint light on the outside. Faint light on outside. I followed him. When I exited out of the front door, I could see Crowven out in a clearing near the house. There was a large vehicle there that was clearly still running. Crowven? I guess this is related to what he was doing. So we know that he was out of town when we tried to call him from the movie theater, but I guess in this timeline, Mary woke up early enough to catch the bus, so she didn't call him and find out that he was out of town. What's this? Mary, I need you to get in the car. Where are we going? It doesn't really matter. That's not the important part. We just need to leave, okay? We're coming back, right? No, I don't understand. What is this? Did something bad happen? Listen, I'll try to explain it all later, but for now I just need you to trust me and come with me. That's a lot to ask right now. You won't even tell me what's happening. I know, but I will eventually if just please get in the car. Alright. Crowven walked me over to the back door of the truck and opened it for me. He helped me inside, but frantically, as if to rush me. As I began to buckle in, I noticed that Crowven and I weren't the only ones in this vehicle. There was a man sitting in the driver's seat. It was so dark I couldn't see his face, but Crowven seemed familiar enough with him as he climbed into the passenger's seat, and we began to drive. I don't recognize that hair. Or do I? Is that Reginald? No, definitely not, right? I wanted to ask Crowven what was happening, but not in front of the stranger. Who is this? Do I even try to ask? Well, it certainly took you long enough. I'm sorry. Yeah, I should fucking hope so. We wouldn't even be having to do this bullcrap if you weren't such an idiot. Sorry. I'll try to do better next time. Next time? What, you want there to be a next time to all of this? Sorry. It's a poor choice of words. Whatever. I don't want to get mad in front of Mary. It's just... It's alright. As long as we continue like this, things should be just fine. What are things exactly? You know, I hope you're right about that. Because if I have to worry over this a second longer, it's gonna be your head. I am aware. But have I failed you before? Where are we going, if I can ask? Yeah, I'd say you have. I think that's a bit of an exaggeration. We've gotten this far, haven't we? It isn't far enough. You think my dad would settle for this shit? In all fairness, your father was a lot more patient. Yeah, well, I'm not. This is giving me a headache. What is going on? I'm so lost. Likewise. It's just... It's fine, it's fine. Maybe when we get there, I can, like, sit down with some coffee or something. That sounds like a good idea. I just hope it actually calms you and doesn't make you more jittery. Yeah, shut it. You're never gonna make it at this rate, though. How do you mean? You kidding me? You drive like a fucking snail. You want to go any faster, maybe? It's safer to drive like this. It's dark, and we've hardly traveled this path before. Come on, it's a straight fucking line. What are you worried about, crashing into all the other cars around us right now? I gave my reasoning. We will get there, regardless. Yeah, but it'll already be sunrise when we do. Fucking give me that. Crowven, please. Please do not grab the wheel like that. What are you doing? What is your fucking plan? Crowven suddenly grasped the steering wheel, much to the shock of both and worry of both me and the driver. The hell are you doing? Let me fucking drive. Stop the car and let me drive if you're not gonna listen. Let go of the wheel. Oh god. Crowven, you're a dumbass. It's like they're having a fight. Fucking, this was gonna happen. Knew it. Told you we should have done it this way. What back do then, huh? After them. With what? I don't care. You know where they're headed, right? Not letting get away. What, Mary? She was breathing. Nothing broken, right? So, you take care of her. Ain't you used to that job by now? I'm not sticking around. Then, god damn it.
Mary, can you hear me? Come on, let's get you home safe.
What is happening? What is happening? Dots! So many dots! So many Dippin' Dots! I'm hungry for Dippin' Dots now. I'm in pain, but not a lot. Just very numb, like being hit with a big wave on the beach. Slowly I could feel my senses coming back to me. I'm pressed against something. I'm being held. But by who? Open your eyes.
Oh, hey! You're awake.
Huh? Wait, who are you?
Whoa, easy now.
The man let me stand on my own 2 feet, and I quickly backed away from him. Who? Where?
Mary, calm down. It's me, remember? From the car with Crowven? I was driving?
That's... I recognize your voice. That makes me feel a lot better. He looks really nice. But, may I ask what happened to Crowven?
Well, this is gonna be a long story. Walk with me.
Nice Uber driver.
So first, how much do you remember?
I like how she's, like, kind of jogging and he's just walking. It's because her short, stubby legs. Oh, we were driving? And yeah, he's a super nice Uber driver. He probably didn't even get paid. And his car's crashed. Somewhere. You guys are talking weird.
Right. We're viewing it from an outside perspective, so it wouldn't make much sense to you.
Then Crowven got really mad and wanted to drive the car himself, and we hit something, or swerved. It's a bit foggy.
You're walking fine. You're not in any pain, are you?
I think I'm okay. Just a little bit numb.
You were in the back of the car, which wasn't really damaged. I think you may have hit your head, though.
I guess that's why I was blacked out.
Even though it wasn't too much damage, the car is no longer in any shape to drive us anywhere, and we can't exactly turn back now. So our only choice is to keep walking until we can get to the next town. I wasn't sure when you were gonna wake up, but you were out for a while, so I admit I was getting a bit worried.
Concussion! Always the concussion! But I did wake up for a little bit. When Crowven and you were yelling at each other, I heard Crowven say some things. Letting someone get away? Is he okay? What happened to him?
I suppose there's no use in hiding it now. I mean, how much do you know about it?
Know about what? I don't know anything about any of this, it's true. We're in Mary's shoes here. Her shoes, which are probably not made for walking long distances, not gonna lie. Crowven just woke me up and told me we had to go.
I see. I guess I'll be the one to explain it then. As best as I can, anyways. If you don't know anything about it, I guess we'll start from the beginning. Or at least my understanding of it. So you know about Halen City, right?
Yes. It's where my aunt and uncle lived for most of my life. And where my parents lived before they had me. This guy looks very similar to the parents, by the way. And to Crowven. Maybe they're a blood relation. That's right.
Well, how do I say this? Picture this with me, if you will. Mob, gang, criminal organization, use whichever words please you. There were 2 of them centered in Halen City. The first we'll refer to as the Congress, and the second we'll refer to as the Parliament. Halen City housed those 2 organizations, but it hardly had room for both.
We're in a mob story now?
The two groups were always at war with one another, fighting over territory, money, whatever they could, even if it's just to make it so that other groups could not have it. I tell you this because your uncle, he was the head of the Congress.
You're joking. You can't be serious. Uncle Cross was such a sweet man. He wouldn't hurt a fly.
He'll make Mary an offer she can't refuse, or else she's gonna be sleeping with the fishes.
You ever question why he wore that eye patch? It was from his time in the army. He was in a war. Oh, I see. Please continue.
Eventually, the Congress had overpowered the Parliament. And the Parliament was pushed to Blackwood, The Congress now had full control of Helen City, and weren't worried about the Parliament interfering with their plans anymore. I wish I could say that's where the story ended, but if it was, we wouldn't be here right now. Your mother, Mary.
My mom? What about her?
Your mother was a good friend of Cross. Longtime friends. I believe they'd known each other from back when your mother was still a child.
Yes, I knew that. That's why I started calling him my uncle to begin with. Because he was such a good friend of Mom's. Did Mom know? Please tell me.
Yes, she knew. And your father knew too. But they were never involved in any of it until recently.
Huh?
Let me finish explaining. After the Congress had complete control of Helen City, your uncle, aunt, and everyone and parents lived there peacefully.
Alright, so I guess the trouble started happening when the uncle moved closer to Blackwood, where the Parliament is living. Does that mean that is what is it? Is Twyla part of the Parliament? That she's so rich, right? Maybe her parents owned the were heads of the Parliament, and that's why she and Crowven don't get along, like at all.
More or less, for a while. But your mother wanted to open her own restaurant, diner, eating establishment, and the perfect location she was looking for was in Blackwood. Your aunt and uncle begged her not to make a move. They were scared of the Parliament potentially targeting her, even if she was never involved in their business. But if she wanted the restaurant, it was her only option. Not to mention, she was expecting a child, and, well, believe it or not, back in the day, Blackwood used to be a lot cleaner than Helen City was, even with the Parliament there. Tables certainly turn, don't they? So despite their warnings, your parents moved to Blackwood to start the restaurant.
Look at them. They're adorable.
And, well, their family. Your aunt and uncle were still worried, but you guys actually seemed to stay pretty safe. And we didn't really have any reason to worry. They even felt comfortable visiting you guys from time to time. They'd even joke about how the Parliament may not even exist anymore. But they'd show us that they were still alive and kicking soon enough. A few years ago is when things really began to spark again. We received reports of gang activity beginning to pick up in Blackwood. That alone may not have concerned us much, but then we started getting reports of enemy gang members parading themselves around Helen City, calling themselves the Parliament. That really made our sirens go off. Then out of almost nowhere, your aunt and uncle's home was broken into. They were unsure if it was related, but well, it's not like they were going to take their chances. They shortly ended up moving into a safe house there, as you could call it. Even though it was closer to Blackwood than it was Helen City, it seemed like the safest bet.
Wait, the cabin? The cabin in the woods. The one you picked me up from.
That's right.
I had always wondered why they'd moved there. They always had such a nice house in Helen City. I never understood why they'd moved to such cramped little space in the woods.
We lived there quietly for a few years. Well, you know that.
Yeah. I was happy Crowven was so much closer than before, but I didn't know this was why.
Things only started to go really wrong quite recently. Your aunt and uncle, they came in contact with the head of the Parliament. This head figure had promised to meet them to discuss a sort of treaty, or truce. Some deal or arrangement. Told them they'd meet somewhere public so there was no worry of anything insidious. And after a while they finally agreed to meet them. Well, you know what, that went south. And that more or less covers most of it.
You see,
Are you alright?
it's just a lot to take in.
I can imagine. If there's anything you need elaborated, I will try to explain to the best of my ability.
A lot of exposition happening here. Thank you. Well, I guess I do have one question.
Yes?
Who are you?
Oh, I apologize. I didn't realize I'd never introduced myself. I'm Avidius. I was like the first lieutenant, you could say. The right-hand man to your uncle. Or, well, right-hand man to Crowven now.
Crowven's involved with all this too, right?
Unfortunately, yes. He's always known. We just didn't expect him to inherit the Congress like this. At least not yet.
And Crowven, he ran off?
Yes, he believed we were being followed by the Parliament. Claimed a car that quickly drove past us after the crash must have belonged to them, and he ran after it. I don't know what he thinks that'll help, but... Consigliere? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I couldn't go after him. My priority was watching out for you.
Have you been in contact with him at all?
No. As I said, my priority was taking care of you.
Maybe I should try messaging him. After everything you just told me, I don't think I feel comfortable knowing he's on his own out there. Oh, you should give me your number too then, in case you wind up separated somehow.
Unnecessary.
Huh?
You already have it.
The mystery number. Already have it? Wait a minute. And that means... Oh,
Hey!
you were the strange number that I've been texting. The one I've messaged nearly every night.
Yes, that's correct.
Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? This is a cute expression. This is cute. More so, why were you so creepy over the phone? You scared the living daylights out of me.
I apologize, I didn't mean to. Truly, I tried as best as I could not to come off as malicious, but I see it didn't work. I'm just not good at when it comes to cellular communication.
It's a mafia thing made popular by The Godfather. The consigliere is a high-level, advisor. I see. I never watched The Godfather, so...
Perhaps I should explain a bit more.
So Ovidius is just one of those guys who comes off as angry all the time in texting. He just always has periods at the end of his sentences. He capitalizes everything. That sort of guy.
Perhaps I should explain a bit more of why I'm even here.
It's different in, like, Twitch chat and stuff. But, when you're, like, texting someone, or even, like, on Discord, putting periods at the end of your sentences make you, like, for some reason it makes you look terse. Or something like that. Like you're, I don't know, it just comes off as kind of, like, angry or serious. This is why I stopped using periods. I don't use periods anymore. Periods are cringe. I took out the period key from my keyboard. It is no longer there. It's just an empty space. How do I type in websites? Don't ask.
You see, back when gang activity first began to pick up again in Blackwood, your uncle assigned me as the task of looking out for you. I was to make sure you were kept safe from all this. Of course, I accepted this task. I made sure you were never involved in any of this. Until now, that is.
Wait. Were you stalking me?
No, not exactly. I wasn't so much spying on you as I was spying on them.
Huh?
The Parliament. I was making sure they stayed out any areas you frequented. It was a difficult job making sure they kept their distance, whilst also making sure I didn't bring any suspicion on you. But I think I did an alright job. At least, well, I was able to.
Oh, wait. If you're with Crowven, and you're also the mystery number, that means you know where my parents are, and that they're okay.
That's right.
How many people have I offended by using proper punctuation? I mean, I don't know if people would be offended. They would just probably... I don't know. Yeah, I used to be a person of proper punctuation. Perhaps, problematic. Let me continue explaining. A previous person to proper punctuations, problematic, preponderances, presupposes, perhaps, painstaking punctuation, provides, pessimistic, possibilities? I don't know if that made sense at all. You see, keeping you safe within the city wasn't my only mission. I was also tasked with bringing you out of the city should things go awry. And well, that happened. And I was instructed that if something like that should happen, I was to take you and your family out of Blackwood and bring you somewhere safer. However, what nobody told me was you were staying with Crowven. I came to pick up you and your parents, but you were not there. I never got news there was rumor of a murder in Blackwood, so I had no reason to believe you might be staying somewhere else. So I was right in my conjecture that they came willingly. Your parents only told me once I had arrived there, but by that point, I was already in a very dangerous position. The Parliament was clearly on high guard. If I moved around too much, I risked jeopardizing everything. There wasn't enough time and too much risk involved in going to get you, so I left with your parents. And I couldn't come back until we could be absolutely sure it was safe to take you away too. But if Crowven really did see a Parliament car pass us by, then perhaps it still wasn't safe enough.
Then where are they now? Why didn't I ever hear from them?
We didn't want the Parliament potentially catching on to us, and we're afraid they may be able to track your parents' phones. So I confiscated them. My phone was modified to be untraceable, and was why I was able to keep contact with you, but the same couldn't be done for your parents. I apologize for that. But believe me when I say it was very hard for them not to contact you. It was the only way to ensure you were kept the safest you could be kept.
I see.
Are you alright?
I don't know. Again, it's a lot to take in.
I understand. It must be tiring to even hear about. But I hope you find happiness in knowing you'll see your parents again soon.
Really?
Yes, it's why I came to collect you after all. It's why we're heading out this way. But perhaps we would be a lot closer to them had the car not crashed.
Right.
Even if Crowven does appear a bit frantic right now, I request that you not be mad at him. He wasn't even supposed to be with us, truthfully. But he wanted to come to see for himself that you got there safely. And I'm sure he still wants to see that too, even if he's not beside us right now.
Really?
Really.
This is a long walk. I'm glad that they're talking about stuff while it's happening. Most of the walk after that was silent and awkward. Oh, never mind. How was I supposed to talk in this situation? Processing it was a huge thing to take on already. I'd already tried messaging Crowven, but we didn't hear anything back. I didn't really expect to, but it was worth a shot. I did wonder where he ended up, though. I haven't seen a trace of him on this forest trail since all the time we've been walking. All the time we've been walking. Are you alright?
No, are you alright?
Huh?
You're slowing down.
Oh, sorry. I'm very tired. How long have we been walking for?
Can't say for certain. I didn't check the time when we started walking. Would you like me to carry you again?
No, that's okay. You really don't have to. I just hope we can get there soon.
One eternity later.
It's still plenty dark out.
Indeed it is. But I would not be surprised if the sun starts to rise soon.
Really?
I was hoping we'd be there by daybreak. Maybe if we still had that car. Wait.
He stopped me.
Do you hear that?
I did. We turned behind us. There was a car slowly driving in our direction. It was still a bit away from us, but would catch up to us soon.
Alma waved him down. See if they can give us a ride. Stay behind me.
I took a step back, and I noticed Ovidius reaching into the side of his jacket. He was carrying a weapon on him. I silently prayed to myself he wouldn't have to use it. The car slowly rolled to a halt beside us, and the window rolled down. I felt a bit more relaxed when I saw the driver behind the wheel. Oops. He was an elderly fellow with plenty of wrinkles. He's also got a dark shadow over his face. A real catch. Women want him, fish fear him. He looked so old, in fact, I didn't know if he should even be driving. On his head, he wore a mesh cap. It had a picture of a trout on it, and from the little I could see of his outfit, it looked like he was wearing some kind of old overalls. Even though I felt more at ease, Ovidius did not shift from his tense and serious state at all. He bowed over the side of the vehicle and talked to the driver through the window. I couldn't hear what they were saying. But after a few moments, I heard the old man laugh, and Ovidius turned to me and told me it was all right to get in the car. So I climbed into the back seat and buckled myself in, and then we were off. Thank you again, sir.
Ain't no problem. Was heading that ways anyways. Frankly, I'm just surprised you guys were walking. I ain't ever seen nobody on this old path. Perhaps it ain't as well kept a secret as I thought.
Well, we didn't really have much choice. Our car kind of crashed.
Hee-haw! So was you bozos who had that car wreck back there? Was wondering where the passengers went?
Yes, that's correct.
Swerve trying to avoid a deer. That's why you gotta keep your eyes and ears peeled in these woods.
I suppose it's a bit too late to tell you that.
Anyways, what business y'all have in Greenbark?
Greenbark? Ovidius shot me a look. Oh, right. We're, visiting family.
Any special occasion?
No, just visiting.
Well, it's always nice to see a family getting together. Most people take that for granted nowadays, I tell you what. So, you two are family too?
Well...
Not exactly. I'm just a close friend. Doing a favor. Oh, I see. Hope they're paying you enough to be a chauffeur. Ha! After crashing a car, I doubt I deserve much pay. But enough about us. What are you passing through Greenbark for? I was hoping you'd ask. See, me and my fishing buddies do this trip every other weekend. Even though I don't live too close, but this shortcut helps me to make it every time. I'm usually the last to arrive, but not by much. We ran out a boat and...
The nice man continued to tell us about his fishing trips all the way to Greenbark. It sounded like he was really excited to be able to talk about it. I liked hearing about the fun times he shares with his friends. The sun began to rise as we began pulling out of the forest. And once we were in Greenbark, Ovidius told the man to let us off at the corner of a sidewalk. I never did learn his name, but I made sure to thank him again for the lift. Is it bad that I see the profile on the right and my first thought is Sephiroth? No, it is not bad, because I kind of thought similar. Not exactly Sephiroth, but I was like, they've got the Sephiroth hair thingies. Lucky break for us, but let's not push it. Come on, let's go. Ovidius. Can we get breakfast first?
Mary, we need to keep going.
I'm sorry, I'm really not feeling well.
Are you alright?
Yeah, it's a lot, you know. And I think it's all catching up to me. All the walking we've been doing.
We really shouldn't stop moving.
You're right. I understand.
Come on.
Huh?
We'll get you something to eat. We'll just have to be quick.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. Let's just go.
Ovidius tried to look for somewhere that may be open. The closest we could find was one of those chain diners that prides itself on pancakes and other breakfast foods. They seemed to be the only open place anyhow. Luckily, they weren't packed at all, so we were seated right away. I was happy about that.
Please be quick. Girl's practically dying over here.
Ovidius shrugged his coat off, and then tossed it into the open seat beside him, before taking his seat across from me. Like his red shirt. You didn't have to do that.
Huh?
Rush the wait staff? It's not that dire.
You're feeling unwell. I'm sure they can see that.
Is this a Denny's or an IHOP? I think it is, it's actually an IHOW, International House of Waffles. You also shouldn't toss your coat like that. It's expensive, isn't it? It'll wrinkle easily like that.
Well, if it'll wrinkle so easily, maybe it shouldn't cost so much.
You think that?
Yeah, I do. Why is expensive stuff the type that ruins so easily? You should get what you pay for. Wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, I guess I would.
You alright?
Can I ask you about, what? Can you tell me about the
Fire department?
Huh? Ovidius quickly scanned the dining room and everyone in it.
I work for the fire department, and you're curious about that, right?
Oh, yeah. Can you tell me about the fire department?
To an extent. What do you want to know?
Have you always wanted to be a fireman?
Of course not. I don't really think it's something anyone ever imagines for themselves. It's just something that happens. And so slowly that you don't even realize it's happening until you're already too deep in to go back. I didn't have a choice. At least that's what I always told myself. I realize now that there's always a choice, even if both options are unfavorable.
You know, and before there's an actual firefighter in the next booth, I mean, he could be in the next town over. Like, he's a firefighter from a different town. You know, when I think back to when I first received that text message from such a mysterious number, of all the potential candidates it could have been, I never would have imagined it would have led to something like this happening.
Are you upset?
No. I mean, I clicked random things. I'm glad it wasn't actually an ally. After all, I mean, how can I be upset with someone who's done so much for me? Someone who's even risked their life for me and yet doesn't know me at all.
I wouldn't say I don't know you. I mean, not anymore. We messaged one another almost every night, didn't we? Even though it might not have been much. I feel like I learned a lot about you. Besides, even though you didn't know me in return, you were always coming back to me, or looking at me when you were in trouble. I know that you're a bright girl even if you don't think so. And bright enough to ask for help when you need it. That's something that can't be said about a lot of people. Maybe if I had been more like you, I wouldn't have been in this position I am now. Oh, but no, don't take that the wrong way. I'm here anyways. And I gotta be here anyways. And I'm glad it's with someone like you.
Thank you. If I may, can I ask one more thing?
Of course.
Someone who would risk their life for me despite not knowing me.
Exactly, I am a firefighter.
It's about my uncle in the fire department.
Yes, go ahead.
My uncle in the fire department. You knew my uncle. You said you worked right beside him, right?
Yes, I did.
My uncle. Was he a good person?
He was silent for a moment. Listen, Mary, your uncle... I owe my life to your uncle, and I'm sure many others do too. But just because I'm loyal to him doesn't mean that he was exactly a good person either. Your uncle did a lot for me, and for the rest of the fire department. But there's no such thing as a good firefighter.
There's no such thing as a good firefighter.
Guess I didn't realize how that sounded out loud.
Thank you, Ovidius, for everything you've been doing for us. I don't know if Crowven ever tells you, but really, thank you so much.
Of course. There's no one else I'd rather do it for.
I felt much better after I was fed. Physically better, but I think the emotional toll was also a bit easier to digest.
Come on, let's head out. Once we get past this point, we should be in the clear.
Since we no longer had our own vehicle, Ovidius and I had to find a bus stop. We'd have to take bus after bus until we could make a path to wherever it is we were supposed to be going. That's okay, though. I was used to riding on a bus. They're sitting so close. You look tired.
Nah, don't worry about me. I'm fine.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you really sure?
Yes.
We'll be on this bus for a while. You can take a nap if you'd like.
Doesn't seem safe. What if we run into trouble?
Then I'll wake you up.
Promise?
Promise. Okay. She's just on her phone. Did you bring your charger at least, Mary? I checked my messages with Crowven. Still nothing. I could only hope that the reason he wasn't answering was because he was being extra careful and not because something else was going down. Oh, we've got to get off the bus now. I don't think it'll be much longer. Is this it?
Yes, this is it.
It's a nice looking house. He brought me to a white paneled house in the middle of a cutesy suburban neighborhood. In a city much, much farther from Blackwood than I would have liked to think. Are we supposed to stay here forever?
No, not forever. Just for a little while. Just for a while. Until we can get things under control. Aren't you happy? Your parents are safe and you'll get to be with them again.
I know. But I like Blackwood. And Crowven.
Don't worry about Crowven. Don't worry about Blackwood. Both of those, they're my job. And I've never been bad on my job before. I'm gonna take care of it. I'm sure you'll be back in Blackwood before you know it.
Man, Mary just getting stuck in the middle of a gang war. I approached the front door of the house. My parents who'd been missing for so long. They're really right behind this door? Ovidius stood back on the sidewalk. I don't know if it was because he wanted to feel, or he didn't want to feel like he was pushing himself into the picture, or because he wanted to be able to leave as soon as he saw that I was safe. Everything that's happened, does it really end here? Knock on the door! There's only one thing left to do. I lifted my hand to the door and knocked. Once, twice, 3 times. The knob slowly turned, but when it opened... Well, hello, miss. What brings you knocking on our door, Lost your way? Oh, don't be silly. We're here looking for Mommy and Daddy, isn't that right? So sorry they stepped out for a moment. But we're more than happy to babysit you until they get back.
Mary!
I was grabbed by the strangers and they began to cover my mouth with a cloth. It smelled of something I couldn't quite recognize, but I already knew what was happening. I tried calling out to Ovidius, but my mouth was covered. You don't mind if we take her out for a little play date, right?
Let her go! Yeah, I don't think so. I wouldn't even try reaching for that gun of yours, unless you're in the mood for a Bloody Mary, haha!
Mary, listen to me.
It's gonna be okay.
My vision was beginning to fade.
I'm not gonna let them hurt you. Promise you that.
Well, things went south really quickly, all of a sudden.
I'm good at what I do.
Huh? The movies. No, that's not quite right. This is a movie theater, but it doesn't look like anyone I've ever been in before. The screen is massive, but nothing is playing. Not even any audio. The seats seem to stretch on for miles. I can't tell where they end, or even which row is closest to the screen. And on top of that, there's no one here. Wait, that's not true. Someone is here. It's... Crowven. What's he doing here?
Hold on a second. I gotta clear my throat. Hold on. I want to clear my throat, drink water.
Things going bad in my voice right now.
I had to gargle some water, that's what happened.
In a not too distant future, next Sunday, AD. AD? I called out to Crowven, but it was as if he didn't hear me at all. He's crying. He's crying at the movie, but it isn't playing anything. Can he see something I can't? I tried calling out to him again. Still, it was as if he couldn't hear me. It's one of the variants on the MST3K intro song. Oh, I see. I don't see how. There's no sound from the screen. I never watched MST3K. I think part of it is just because I've never watched any of the movies that they were watching. So I guess, you know, like I like to watch reactions to things I've already seen. So just commentary on a movie I hadn't seen already would fall flat for me. And he's not that far from me. Crowven, what's going on? I reached out to Crowven. Except, wait. Did I? I can feel my arm reaching out towards him. But I can't see it at all. I tried reaching out toward him again. What's happening? Why can't I interact with him? Crowven, please. I'm trying to help you. Please, look at me. Crowven! Crowven! What's happening? Crowven? Huh? What? Just a dream. You never really watched when it was on. Grew into it well afterwards, and a lot of the movies that they watched are not good for solo view. I could imagine. Just a dream. Wait. Where is this? I was kidnapped? But this place... I know this is just supposed to be like a white brick, but it looks a lot like someone has a post-it note where they put tally marks on it. But this place... Is this a jail cell? A real jail cell? I quickly looked around the place. It seems to have been abandoned for quite some time. But they brought me here. Ovidius! I have to get to him. I checked my pockets. Of course they took my phone, why wouldn't they? Okay. Stay calm. We can find a way out of here. Okay.
We are explorating. When you want to keep track of the days, but you don't want to vandalize. It's true. Alright, let's check everything. Look through the doors. I tried looking through the cell bars to get a better idea of the idea. A better area of the idea I was in. Yep, that's totally the right way to say it. I seemed to be in a cell at the end of a long hall. I couldn't see anyone in any of the other cells, but I didn't want to risk shouting out for anyone, in case the wrong person heard me. The only thing I could see at the beginning... the only thing I could see at the end of the hall was a staircase. I have a habit of pressing continue while I'm in the middle of reading the line, because I've already got the rest of the line queued up in my brain. But then, sometimes that happens where I get the line wrong and then my brain just, like, gives up immediately. Open cell door. I tried opening the cell door. It clanged and rattled. Of course it was locked. But I at least had to try. Check the vent. I climbed over to the vent that was on the wall. People escape through vents in movies all the time, right? Even though it was old and rusty, I wasn't gonna give it... I wasn't gonna give any time soon. It wasn't gonna give it... Why is this sentence so hard to read? Even though it was old and rusty, it wasn't gonna give anytime soon. There's no way I'd be able to open it on my own. Check sink. Check bed. I tried checking around the bed in the cell. It felt as hard as rock, and even the sheet was covered in a fine layer of rocky debris, for some reason. I tried looking under it to see if there was any sort of hole or trapdoor I could sneak through. Of course, there wasn't. I tried checking the sink basin for anything that might be useful. I remember playing old escape games, and usually the sinks would have something important in them, like a screwdriver or even a knife? Or key. Sorry, my phone was covering part of the screen. I had to guess. Not this time, though. Check toilet. Ew, I don't want to get anywhere near that toilet. Besides, even just looking at from here, I can see that it's empty. And I'd rather not get my arm stuck in a pipe trying to look for something anyways. Check the hole in the wall. There was a large hole in the cell wall. I don't know whether it was purposely made to be made by a frustrated inmate, or if... Why? I'm so frustrated with my inability to read today. I don't know why, but I'm just be able to read today. I don't know whether it was purposefully made by a frustrated inmate, or if it just began to wear away over time. Either way, it's not gonna help me much. All it's got is some exposed pipes. There's not any room for me to be able to fit in there. Even if I could, I'd have no place to go. That's everything? No, that can't be it. There has to be something else I can do. There has to. Hi, Fire. There isn't any way out. Thanks for still being here. I'm trapped here. I can't do anything. I can't believe this. Crowven, Ovidius, Mom, Dad, we're all in trouble, and for what? Because of me? If they weren't trying so hard to keep me safe. It's so stupid. They're so stupid. None of this would be happening right now if they just... Suddenly I heard a rattle against the bars. I thought I was finally done for until I looked up. Reginald? Reginald was here right in front of me. But how? He was knocking against the bars and gesturing over for me to come closer. Reginald, what are you doing here? Are you part of the Parliament? Reginald? What are you doing here? I tried to keep my voice down as best as I could. How is this possible? How did you know I was here? You're not working with these people, are you? Then I don't understand. How is it that you're here right now? Am I still dreaming? Why aren't you saying anything? Suddenly I felt a pressure against my hands. Reginald was pushing something into my hands. Keys? Wait, are these the keys to the cell? I don't understand. I mean, thank you, but where did you find these? How did you know I was here? How did you even get here? It's just not making any sense. Huh? Without a word, Reginald stood up and turned around. He began walking toward the exit and waving back at me. Did you just kiss her on the forehead? As if he was saying goodbye. What is going on with Reginald? I don't understand. What was that?
Oh wait, these keys! I can't worry about Reginald right now. I have to get out of here while I still have the chance. I inserted the keys into the lock of the door on the other side. Come on, come on! Yes! The cell opened. There's no time to waste. If only I knew where I was going. I didn't see Reginald after I left the cell. Nor do I have any idea where he could have went. Ooh, we've got horror atmosphere now. This place seems so big and empty, but I knew that couldn't be the case. There had to be people lurking around here somewhere. I just didn't know where. I tried to listen for them, just in case I needed to hide, but I couldn't hear anything, except for the vague atmosphere of horror. Just where was this anyways? Let's listen. I tried listening around for anything. Footsteps, talking, anything. If I listen really, really closely, I can hear the sound of something faint, but I can't really discern what it is. Maybe if I get closer, it's the instruments of horror. Inspect cells. I looked into some of the cells that lined the walls. I wondered if I would see someone else trapped in a similar position to mine. Alas, there were none. I don't know if that was a good thing or a bad thing for me. Each of these cells seemed to be in a similar condition to mine. What they made up for in one area, they were lacking in another. Sure, there was no crack in the wall in this cell, but the toilet was completely missing. Maybe this cell's got a pillow, but the sink is missing its knobs. How does that happen? How long has this place been like this? What am I doing here? I tried to look for any signs on the walls to help me get a better sense of this area. Of course, I found none. I shouldn't be surprised. This is a jail, not a school. Or is it a prison? How would you even be able to tell? What's the difference between a jail and a prison anyways? Well, Mary, a jail is where, it's connected to the police station, and a prison is, for, long-term inmates. There's no time to think about that right now, though. Alright, let's keep moving. I didn't have time to waste on silly stuff. I have to keep moving. Either until I find a video, my phone, or a way out. Oh, she's playing a way out now. As I continued to move, I began to hear something clearly. It sounded like the rattling of cage bars. Someone's fighting against them real hard, and then suddenly a voice. You think you've gotten away with this? Wait, that's not just any voice, it's... I swear to fuck when I get out of here, I'm taking this whole place down with you all in it. Crowven! I've got to go get to him. Following the sound of his frustrated yelling and clanging of metal, I was able to find... Crowven! Mary? What the shit? How'd you get in here? Wait, before any of that, I think I can get you out of here. I used the keys Reginald gave me in the keyhole for Crowven's cell. Could they really? Yes, it opened. Hey, not bad. When did you get so toolsy? But more importantly, when the fuck did you get in here? You're not supposed to be anywhere near here right now. Listen, It's a lot to explain. We need to find a way out of here. What, so soon? You need to find a way out, but I don't think I can leave just yet. What? What are you talking about? We have to leave. Listen, Mary, I know I messed up a little bit. And that fucker Ovidius did too by letting you wind up here. But because of that, I can't just let things keep getting worse. Think of it like this, yeah? When you've got a wasp problem, do you just buy a fly swatter? Or do you call an exterminator to take the whole nest out? Crowven, what are you even talking about? Don't worry, Maris. I'm gonna stop the problem at the source. Crowven? Crowven ran out of the cell without me. Guess I'm on my own again until I can find him. Or anyone. I walked around again completely lost. I was beginning to wonder if I was wasting my time going in circles. Though, I eventually made it somewhere else. A different area. There weren't many, if any, cells here. Time to kick a wasp's nest. It's true. We're gonna make all the wasps start stinging. This is a bad idea, Crowven. Why are you doing this? The walls were tiled from floor to ceiling. It was strange. It felt like being in a bathroom. The longest, most maze-like bathroom in the world. I wish I knew what kind of area this even was. You're in the bathrooms, Mary. You clipped out of reality and now you're in the bathrooms. But more importantly, I wish I knew how to get out of it. Then I began to hear something. Talking. There's people talking somewhere. I tried to get closer so I could at least know exactly where they were, and maybe find out what they were planning. But as I peered the corner, just to get a glance, I was met with the face of... Twyla? Twyla's here? She's talking on the phone. The whole gang is here. We just gotta wait for Zapara to show up. And also, Vasilis. But I can't quite make out what she's saying. She's also talking to someone in front of her, handing her things. She's clearly not in any danger. But no, I don't understand. Twyla was dedicated to catching the killer, wasn't she? She wanted our city to clean up. So why is it that... She spotted me. She's looking me right in the eyes. What do I do? Oh, we're gonna wave. We're definitely gonna wave at her. Come on. Why would we not? I waved to her. I don't know why. I mean, what else could I do? Yeah, for sure. Definitely that is the exact thing that emote is exactly what Mary's doing right now. I mean, what else could I do? I shouldn't have waved. What's wrong with me? Even though Twyla clearly saw me, she did not out me to the person in front of her. Rather, she let them walk on in a different direction, and I was finally able to make out the last thing she said on the phone. I'll talk to you later. Twyla hung up her phone and then stood facing me. I watched her from behind the corner a few seconds longer before working up the courage to meet her in the middle. Twyla? What are you doing here? I could ask you the same thing. You're not really involved with these people, are you? I thought you wanted to keep things clean in our city. You hated crime, and that's why... It's all very complicated. I wouldn't expect you to understand. This is why Crowven never wanted me around you. He knew that you were with the people who wanted to hurt us. Do you think he's innocent in all this? That he wasn't trying to hurt us as well? We simply do what we need to do. As for me, I'm in all this because of my uncle. Your uncle? He's in charge. Then he's just like you. You don't have to be involved in any of this. Twyla? Didn't you say it yourself? I want to keep our city clean. Why don't I help you get out of this? Wait, really? Mm-hmm. You don't have to be here. I'll show you the way out. Really? Mm-hmm. Don't you trust me? Even if you don't. Twyla reached her hand out to me. Do you have any other choice? I mean, there's a lot we can do here. I don't really need these save files, so we're gonna start saving over this. Let's grab Twyla's hand. Before I could answer her, a gunshot rang out throughout the building. We both turned to face where the noise came from. Twyla ran in the direction of the noise, and I followed her. When we got to the destination without hesitation, Twyla slammed the door open, and the source of the sound stood right in front of us. Fucking piece of shit! Now what's from Ma? They're so casual here. Crowven? What are you doing? What? What's the matter? I felt like I could throw up. The smell of blood already beginning to permeate the room. Come on, Maris, don't give me that look. You should be happy. Happy? How can I be happy over something like this? Because the fucker killed my parents, god damn it. You can't take a life if you ain't prepared to lose your own. Oh? And what the fuck are you laughing at? Crowven! It's nothing. It's nothing. I just... Oh. Oh, she's got her own laugh sound. It's just so funny to me. So funny that you thought he was in control after all this time. And then Mary. I thought I'd have to lie my ass off to her all night when I saw her walking around this stump. Turns out I don't even have to wait that long. It's just hysterical to me. Hysterical. You ever thought you could pull this shit off the way I have? You think that waste of flesh could have had it in him to off your parents the way I did? He was too much of a fucking pussy to even attempt it. And you know what the best part was? It was so fucking easy. Even Mary's dumbass could have done it if she tried. I've been running this shit for years now, you idiot. But I bet you'd never be able to figure that shit out if I wasn't here yelling it at you right now. So hand over that fucking gun and wipe that stupid fucking look off your face before Mary's head becomes my new jack-o'-lantern for Halloween. Everyone's just so speechless. Hey, I swear. I swear. I swear, I swear. Crowven carefully approached Twyla. I felt the knife she was holding lightly pressed against my cheek. Why is this happening again? They did a trade-off. Me for the gun. And then she held it up to both of us. I bet you thought you really had something, huh? Yeah, you know what? Yeah. I guess you did. Too bad it really doesn't matter. Keeping her eyes on us, Twyla pulled out her phone. She tapped away on it. And a few moments later, someone stepped into the room. I need you to take these guys back to their cells and make sure they don't get out again until I ask for one. You know, this looks a lot like Ovidius. Don't kill them, but you're more than welcome to rough them up if they get on your nerves.
Yes, ma'am.
I think that is Ovidius. Crowven and I were apprehended by the strange man. He led us out holding our arms together tightly. He shoved us through the halls and we caught a glance or two from more of Twyla's goons passing us by. Once we were back into the area that held all the cells, the man finally spoke to us. Ovidius! I thought that was you. I'm so glad.
Oh, shit. Hey, Ovidius. Yeah, hey. What the fuck do you think you're doing?
Yeah.
No, I don't even want to hear it right now. We're getting you out of here. All of you.
All? Ovidius brought Crowven and I down a few cells further, and I could hardly believe my own eyes when I saw... Aw, the parents! That was indeed a very delayed message. What happened? Mom and Dad! Are they...
They're alive. Merely unconscious. We're getting them out of here and we're all leaving now.
I wonder why they left everyone alive. What's going on here? Ovidius handed us our phones back.
Had a feeling you'd like to see these again also? Whoa. Hold on. We're just supposed to fucking leave? That isn't gonna help shit. Crowven, you know what happens if we leave? They just fucking take us prisoner all over again. We were outnumbered here, Crowven. Shut up.
Now stop calling me Crowven. Ain't it supposed to be boss to you?
What are you trying to do? Put everyone in danger? You told me my job was to protect them, right? And that's exactly what I'm gonna do.
Good. Then do it. Protect them for the moment, but I'm gonna ensure that they won't need protection anymore.
Crowven! God fucking damn it.
Mary?
Mary? Are you okay?
I've never seen Crowven so fired up before. Even when he was angry or frustrated. It wasn't like this. Never like this. Leroy Jenkins! It's true. Mary doesn't even have... chicken. They only had breakfast.
Come on, let's get out of here.
Leave? While Crowven's still in here?
He wants to get himself killed and I can't stop him. It's like you said. He's my boss. My orders to protect you first and foremost.
We can't leave. We have to go after him. If we leave, then what's gonna happen to him?
Mary, we're getting you out of here.
Ovidius? Can I just... It may be a lot, but can I ask for one last favor?
What?
Bring my mom and dad somewhere safe. Because I'm not gonna lose any more of my family.
Mary!
I heard Ovidius call out after me, but I couldn't leave like this. I couldn't. I tried to follow where I thought Crowven might be headed. Even though I may have already begun to regret my decision, I heard gunshots once more. Several gunshots. Can talking to ghosts somehow get me out of this one? I doubt it. I tried to keep myself as hidden and discreet as possible as I moved through the halls. If I ran into someone... Oh god, I didn't want to think about that. I didn't want to think about what might be happening to Crowven right now either. No, it's okay, he's okay. Right now, to my knowledge, Crowven is alive, and I'll make sure it stays that way. My goal did not change from when I initially escaped. I was gonna find a way out, only this time I would make sure Crowven made it out with me. I was lucky not to run into anyone as I made my way around. I suppose Crowven was leaving them preoccupied. Since my goal is to get him out of here, I don't exactly know if that's the best thing for me right now. Suddenly I felt a breeze. The cold chill of the outside breezing through the halls. Is there really an exit nearby? Turning down a few more corners, I spotted it. A door, just so slightly ajar. Leading outside. What size of a jar is this door? Small jar, big jar? Pickle jar? No, it's a trap. Oh, wait. Is it a trap? No, it shouldn't be. They only know that Crowven's escaped again, and his goal definitely wasn't to leave. I carefully approached the door and stepped outside. There was no one waiting to trap me, but there was a parking lot. This is the way out. There's a few cars here. Not to make any assumptions, but Crowven might know how to hotwire one of these, right? I walked over to one of the cars, wondering how we might be able to get inside. Would they even notice one is missing until it's too late? I placed my hand on the handle of the car and pulled. The forbidden jar. It was mostly just because of instinct, but... Have you seen that video about how to pronounce colon 3 and colon and angle bracket colon 3? Let me see if I can find it. It's very silly. I don't know if it was on like YouTube or if it was on Twitter. It's really difficult to search for this, apparently. Because it's a punctuation. Nope. There's no SEO for this is bad. But it's basically just like a short video where it's like it has like colon 3, this is pronounced haha. And that the one that you posted is pronounced haha. Something like that. It was very stupid. But I love it. It was just like silly. The car door opened anyways. That's strange. Despite how odd I found it, I climbed into the front seat of the car. I'm really sitting in this car right now. The keys are still in the ignition too. That's really strange. Or well, maybe not. I guess if you trusted everybody here or needed to be able to make a quick getaway just in case, then you wouldn't really feel the need to lock your car doors. Suddenly I heard a noise in the not so far off distance. It was the door, the one I had exited out of. Someone was coming to look for their car. I froze in place. Please don't be this car. Please don't notice me. Please just drive away. But despite my prayers, it seemed it was my fault for choosing the wrong car. I heard the door of the car click open, and I was met with a shocked expression of Twyla. I think the both of us were too surprised at the sight of each other to say, you guys keep bumping into each other. You should just start dating, I swear. After what felt like forever, only a few seconds at the same time, I saw Twyla look back towards the door, then back at me. Rocket. Twyla began to climb over me and into the passenger seat of the car. Then, shut that door and get driving. So dumb. Alright, you need to head off to bed. Alright, thank you for hanging out, Slowpoke. Hope you have a good rest. Before I decide you weren't worth sparing. Wanting to be shot? Not wanting to be shot. I did as instructed. That's the opposite of what I said. I did as instructed. And we drove off. She told me where to drive, and I followed her instruction best I could. Not backtalking, not saying anything. God forbid. She decided I'm not worth sparing. We barely got onto the empty road when I heard the screech of tires behind us and more gunshots to follow suit. I almost swerved, but Twyla yelled at me to just drive faster. Fucking bullshit. And suddenly my phone went off. Of all the times, why now? As soon as it did, Twyla once again yelled at me to keep driving. She buried her hands into my pockets and pulled out my phone. She declined whoever it was that was calling and instead made her own phone call. Hey, asshole. Mary's the one driving the fucking car, so unless you want our brains to wind up on the inside of the windshield, I'd stop fucking chasing us. And she threw my phone out the window. I looked into the rearview mirror. The car that was following us began to slow, then completely stopped. Even though it was far, I could have sworn it was Crowven who got out of that car. As I drove off, how I wished I could have been in that car, instead of the one I was trapped in right now. We drove in quiet, or at least I did. She just sat beside me, poking that gun in my direction the entire time, barking out a direction or a lane change or turn. Oops. Or turn I would have to make every now and again. The drive was incredibly dark, and if it weren't for the vibrant streetlights that dotted the road every now and again, I might not have been able to see anything. Don't you know how to turn on the headlights, Mary? I drove as safely as I could, with the little light I had, and with the ever-present threat of Twyla's gun. She wouldn't really shoot me, right? She couldn't. I was driving. If she shot me, then she'd be risking her own life too. So maybe it's okay to talk to her. Even if this Twyla is entirely different from the person I thought she was. Twyla? What? She didn't sound happy or patient. I don't understand. What don't you understand? Use your words. You were lying to me this whole time. Yes, I was. Now that that's established, do you have any other stupid questions? I can't even fathom why you would want to do something like this. Like what? Like being the head of a criminal organization? Why? Why does anyone want to do anything? Because you can. Because I could. Everyone alive likes something different. I like power, and this gives me power, and I already know what you're thinking. But any of the other ways to obtain power aren't quite as fun as this. Twyla? Were you going to kill Crowven? Turn at this right. I followed suit. The traffic light was green, so I just sped through it before I could change again. I haven't seen a single other car on these roads. To answer your question, it was the plan. Wipe him out, and then be done with it already. He's been causing so much trouble after all. Wouldn't it be easiest to just have him out of the way? Then I realized if I could control him, it'd be much more worthwhile than killing him. So I've kept him alive. Is that why you kidnapped him? No. It's why I've kidnapped you. We continued to drive for a long, long time. As we did, I noticed the surroundings start to become more familiar. And before much longer, I realized we were entering Blackwood once again. Keep driving until I tell you to stop. I did as she instructed. I drove slower, following her increasingly confusing instructions. Turn right, then left, then right, then straight, then left again, until she had me park the car in an unfamiliar street. She then got out of the car, but pointed her gun at me the entire time. I guess it was in case I tried to escape. She opened up my door and grabbed me by the wrist. Get up. As soon as I exited the vehicle, Twyla began running with me in tow. I felt myself tripping over my own 2 feet as I struggled to keep up with her speed. Just walk faster, Mary! I thought about yelling, but the threat of her violence prevented me from doing any of the things I would have liked to do. I couldn't exactly see where we were running to so quickly in the dark. Until we approached the gates. We're at the cemetery. I didn't say anything as Twyla dragged me inside and ran through. She moved with purpose. She had a specific location in mind. Of course we're going to the cemetery, though, right? But she couldn't possibly be running towards the mausoleum. The one place in the cemetery I never had access to. But she does? I heard an unlocking sound. Also, we still don't know why Reginald was around. Come on. She grabbed me once again and began pushing me through the double doors. Is Reginald working for Parliament? Did us staying with... Or maybe he's a detective. Maybe Reginald's just like a detective who's been there all along. He was reading the mystery novel. The Homicide on the Disorient Express. And he did enjoy watching the murder mystery with us on TV. Maybe he's a detective. Maybe Reginald's a detective. She grabbed me once again and began pushing me through the double doors. Even though inside was an immediate staircase down, I heard her lock the door behind us and then hurry me down the stairs. When we got to the bottom, what is all this? Underneath the mausoleum was this strange bunker. For how long? Was it always like this? Was anyone ever kept here at all? Wild. Twyla ran straight for the computers in the back and I followed her. She typed rapidly and I couldn't quite understand what she was doing. But she also left her gun on the chair. She just left it. Did she realize? We're taking the gun! Let's go! Before she could realize what she did, I picked up the gun from the chair. She turned to face me as I pointed it at her. Oh? And what do we have here? Twyla, I can't let you do this. What's that? You can't let me do this? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna shoot me? If what? Come on, Mary. We both know that you'd never forgive yourself if you did. But if you insist, then I'll give you an open shot. Oh, she's animated. Or what is going on? She's developing doppelganger. She's doing Kagebunshi no Jutsu. Well, what are you waiting for? Go on then. Try it. Shoot. She's not gonna shoot. I want to start by saying, I didn't aim at anything vital. I would never, ever do that. I aimed at her legs, and I attempted to pull the trigger. Nothing happened. I tried again. Still nothing. I don't understand. Here, let me show you something. Charlotte took the gun from my hands and pointed it at her head. Empty. What? Did you really think I'd run away from a fight if I wasn't out of ammo? Oops. Thanks for being in that car, though. Saved me a few extra steps in my new plan. You're leaving me down here? Oh, don't worry, I'll be back for you soon. I've just got some stuff to take care of first. So just be a little patient. What if she wants to be a big patient, huh? Or a medium patient? An XXL patient? And take the time to say goodbye to this cemetery you love so much. She walked up the stairs, and soon I heard the door unlock and lock again. Should I have gone after her? Would it have changed anything if I did? I tried to get out, to find anything that could help me, but it wasn't any use. The corkboard didn't have anything on it I understood. The computers were password protected, and those doors up there wouldn't budge even if I ran myself into them. Everything that happened just ended with me being trapped again. It didn't help anything in the end. I'm right back to where I was. Is this a sign? Should I just stop trying to do anything? Am I just only going to make it worse? I guess that's not so different from how it usually is, huh? So what you gonna do, Mary? What's gonna happen? Is Reginald just gonna show up again? What's that so bad for anyways? If they die, that just means they get to be with us. What's scary about that? That isn't the point.
I know you're worried, but it seems like you've done all you can.
I wonder who Ed is. Perhaps someone we would have met in a different route.
Whatever happens, aren't you happy it'll soon be over with?
No, I can't be. I mean, how do I even know what the afterlife is really like? You're talking to us, aren't you? But are you even real?
How do you mean? We wouldn't be here if we weren't real.
I guess. I don't know. I don't want to come back here for a different reason than usual. No, you poor little thing. You don't belong here. A unicorn Grim Reaper? The music box is dying a little bit. Why are you here again? It's because of that silly little book, right? The stranger kept talking, and as he approached me, it was as if the world around the two of us began to distort, and all I could comprehend was him and me. But you know something? Truth be told, I think you could have made it here without that stupid thing. What are you talking about? Who are you? I think you've always had that ability. You just didn't realize it. Though I suppose that is partially my fault, isn't it? It's no wonder you like the cemetery so much. Please slow down. I'm having trouble understanding. Oh, that's right. I'm going off on a tangent. Forgive me. I often forget what it's like to talk to people. I just wanted to offer you some help. Get you out of this little predicament you're in. Help? You can help me? But how? This is just a dream. Nothing here can change what's happening out there. Oh, I wouldn't be so sure about that. Don't you believe that anything is possible? By now, you've surely seen it for yourself. Then how do you plan to help me? That is a secret. But I can promise you, I can make it happen. It just needs a little bit of a push. That's all. A push? I just need a little bit more power to be able to make it happen. And this power you have, I think it should do just fine. Huh? What do you mean? Your ability to travel to this world? Receive glimpses of it from the outside? If you give it to me, I can help you in exchange. I can just give it to you? Precisely. Then if I do that, I won't be able to come back here though, right? No, you won't. But you want to save your family, right? Yes, of course I do. Then do we have a deal? If you can really fix it all. Yes, of course we do. Wonderful. I don't get a choice. No! Mary, what have you done? I'll see you later, dear. I woke up to the sound of something incredibly loud. The echoes of the bunker not helping in its volume. It happened again. At first I thought there was some sort of earthquake happening, before I realized that it was actually coming from above ground. Someone was trying to get in. But who? Police? More gang members? What if it's Theo? Imagine Death brought Theo back to life. Did Twyla lock herself out by mistake? I heard the door open. Heavy steps made their way down the stairs, and the person who came down was... Ovidius! Ovidius! I'm so glad it's you.
Hey kid, glad you're alright.
I'm so happy you're here. How did you even get in here?
What do you mean?
How'd you know how to find me here?
Because you texted to me, remember?
Texted? But my phone is... Wait. It's still too early to celebrate. Twyla, she might come back at any minute.
I know, that's why we're getting you out of here.
What's the good in that?
Huh?
I've been thinking about the things Crowven's been saying. Isn't he kind of right? Let's say you get me out of here. Then what happens? Are they gonna kidnap me again? And what'll happen to Crowven?
Mary, this isn't for you to worry about.
How isn't it? I was always involved, even when I didn't know it. How am I ever supposed to feel safe? Or feel as though anyone I like is safe? Crowven and Twyla, neither of them would be in the position they're in if they weren't both adamant people. So how can we ever expect to feel safe until one side gives out? Ovidius, do you think we have to kill Twyla?
Probably be the easiest way. But even with that option, I don't think Crowven would ever be satisfied until he was able to do it himself.
But then, what are we supposed to do? Twyla would never let herself stay somewhere where she isn't armed or guarded. And if the Parliament threatens to attack our family, then Crowven wouldn't be able to attack anyways, right? What do we do?
You know, I think I may have a plan.
Really?
It might work. I need to make a call right now, though, even if we may have a chance of pulling it off.
What is it?
Just this once, you can worry about it.
Oh, what is this now? I thought I locked the door when I left. Have you been playing stupid with me this whole time? Or did you just know the cemetery even better than I thought you did? Really? You're trying to threaten me with that again? What's the point in that? I already know the gun is empty. Oh, dang! So you managed to find some bullets for it, huh? Well, it's a good thing I came back with this. Now you won't want to do anything reckless, right? Because, well, let's face it, Mary, we both know I've got much better aim than you. When it comes down to chance, you really fancy your odds.
I don't know if she likes hers, but I sure like mine.
Oh no, we've got double gun duty. Crowven and I cornered Twyla. We stood in a straight line with Twyla in the middle. Huh? Don't stand in a straight line. What are you doing? If you miss her, she'll just shoot each other. Stop this. Why? Why would you do that? Please stop. Oh my god. Well played. I admit I've got no idea how you managed to pull this off. Well, what are you waiting for? Shoot me then. What? Wait, no. Really, Crowven? Isn't this what you've been waiting for? Are you really that much of a coward? After all this time and all this chase, you're just not gonna do anything? I thought you wanted to kill me. It's the true ending, so I don't know if it's good or bad. Go on then. Shoot. Don't listen to her. Crowven, don't listen to her. She's just trying to get in your head. You don't have to kill her. Please, I don't want to see you as a murderer. Despite all that's happened, I know that the Crowven I know isn't a bad person, so please don't shoot her. If you're not gonna shoot me, then what am I even holding back for? I could just shoot you both right now with no consequences then, right? Because Mary won't shoot me, and if you won't either, then what am I worried for?
Can you ever keep your fucking mouth shut? You're so fucking annoying.
You hate her, don't you? So don't turn into her. Don't do something she would do. Are you really listening to her right now? Because if that's the case, then I'm really not cornered at all. What's to stop me from taking you both out? Just like with dear old Mom and Dad. They were easy, you know? Like throwing a rock at a bird's nest. One clear shot, and then they were gone. So tell me, what kind of bird do you think Mary is? Will it bleed when it hits? Will she take the whole nest down with her? And will she let out the same piercing screech before she hits the ground? Crowven shot the gun. Twyla ducked out of the way, so there was nothing standing between me and the bullet. I saw white, See, that's why you don't do that. That's why you don't stand in a line. But I didn't feel any pain. I didn't feel anything. Because I didn't get shot. No, Ovidius! Ovidius? Twyla ran off out of the cemetery, and Crowven followed her. I began to hear the distant shots of their guns as they ran off. But I was more concerned with... Ovidius, I thought you were gonna grab her.
It wasn't a good time, I couldn't. I saw Crowven's face, I knew he...
Where's your phone? I'll call an ambulance.
No! You can't do that. It'll just make everything harder.
Then what am I supposed to do? You're breathing all heavy and you're bleeding and...
You don't have to do anything.
No, I have to do something. Why did you do that?
I told you, my job was to protect you. I couldn't let you down.
No, it was stupid. It shouldn't have happened. You shouldn't have risked your life over someone like me. I'm nothing.
Mary, shut up.
Huh?
Sorry, but I need you to not talk like that, acting as if there's something you need to do, and that you'd be worthless otherwise. Do you really believe that? That I'd fight so hard to protect someone I thought was worthless? Crowven too, and all your family. This all happened because they thought you were someone worth protecting.
Ovidius, thank you so much. I could never...
There's nothing you've got to do. I did my job. That's good enough for me.
Ovidius. Oh, Ovidius. Thank you so much. I hugged him as gently as I was able to. I hope you know. I felt his arms wrap around me in return. He gave me a pat on the back.
I told you. I'm good at what I do.
Dots! So many dots! I don't know how long I stayed there. I just knew I didn't want to let him go. All this time, he'd wanted to help me, and the place it got him, no, I couldn't think of it that way. That's not what he wanted for me, and I won't disrespect his memory. The sun began to rise, and with it something else returned. I heard his limping footsteps down the sidewalk, a stomp, then a scrape, then a stomp, then a scrape. The closer he got, the more I could hear the raggedness in his breathing, and as I picked my head up, I noticed the blood that stained him. Crowven! What happened? Please say something. You said you didn't want to see me as a murderer, right? Oh, the sky lit up. She cried. It's officially autumn now. It felt like it would never come. But time always marches forward and the seasons do change eventually. Everything changes eventually. And a lot has changed from what things were before. Mom and Dad were found safe and unharmed, and we were able to live in Blackwood again. We even opened up the diner again. Aw, look at them. The dad, these animal people. And in almost no time at all, people began to come back to eat with us. In that sense, it was almost as if nothing had changed at all. The more things change, the more things they stay the same, or the more they stay the same, as they say. Some people would start small talk and say that they missed us, and wonder where we went. Of course, we didn't say anything. Other than that, we were just on a little vacation, that's all. But one thing about the restaurant that's different is that Crowven is living with us now. I know he wouldn't do it unless he felt safe. It was safe to do so. So if that's the case, I'm glad that things are safe. Plus, I think he'd get too lonely living in that little safe house cabin all by himself. Sometimes I think he gets a little annoyed by us. Like when Mom tells him not to eat from the cookie basket, or when Dad reminds him to dress warmer in the cold weather, but I think he appreciates it too. He's definitely doing a lot better now, at least. He also promised that he'd be honest with me should something like this ever happen again. Speaking of things like this, there was never anything on the news or any police reports of the things that happened that night. Sometimes I wonder if Twyla was right when she told me that the police here have been covering things up, or if the Congress has got anything to do with it. Speaking of that night, rumors of a murderer gradually faded until they completely disappeared, just like... I haven't seen or heard from Reginald ever since that night. Whenever I text or call him, I never get any response. And when I visit places like the library or the cemetery, he's never there. He's just gone. I still don't know why he was there, or what happened to him since, but I miss him. He was my friend. I hope wherever he's gone that he's doing okay. Crowven never actually told me about what happened with Twyla, but a mysterious small headstone with her initials appeared in the cemetery. There was never a service for it. It was just there one day. Sometimes I wonder if it's really for her. Sometimes I wonder if I should leave flowers for her. Sometimes I wonder if she would even want me to. There's something I do want to leave flowers for, or someone I do want to leave flowers for eventually. Ovidius never had a service or a headstone. I'm not even sure where they brought his body after the whole thing, but I hope it's someplace nice. But I've been speaking with Crowven, and he said we can hold a service for him soon. I could plan it. Even if it's late, it's better than never. And even if his body isn't here, maybe his spirit will be. I've been rereading the book, How to Talk to Ghosts, because I haven't been able to do it anymore. And it makes me sad, but maybe I'll be able to do it again if I focus. Like the strange spirit told me. I could probably do it without the book, but maybe the book will help me give me a little push. Then maybe I could see everyone again. At Ovidius. Maybe one day I'll be able to talk to him again too. And I'll thank him even more for all he's done for me. And I'd like that. And I think he would too. My phone's going off again. Oh right, my phone! Can you believe that? Amidst all the chaos, we were able to get my phone back? I think Crowven was the one who went and found it after Twilight throwing it out the window. It's got a big crack on it now, but other than that, it still works. And I'll keep using it until it stops working. And even then, I'll keep it somewhere safe. Because it's what was able to connect Ovidius and I. But I should probably check that message, huh? I had figured it was just my mom messaging me, telling me to come inside for dinner, or that I should hurry home because it was getting cold out. But the number that texted me... No, this doesn't make any sense. This is Ovidius' old number, but Ovidius is... Uh-oh. Open the message. Hello again, Mary. True ending complete. Credits. The textbook's font is pixel typed by the J-Man 0205. Alright. Original song Grave Under the Sunset by Lua. Lua Needs Sleep. And a visual novel sounds from Freesound. Horror background sound. Or music. That's the name. Alright, so that's the end of the game, I think. This visual, okay, more sound, a lot of sounds from Freesound. So many sounds from Freesound. So many sounds from Freesound, and then other sounds from elsewhere. Hey, Kevin McLeod. Sonatina in C minor. Guest art. Circulation. This is from the poster. James Cockero. Simply Caboose. 2 p.m. Host. 2 p.m. Ghost. Malt Fox. Love at First Death, a tragic true story. St. Grove, investigating the town that disappeared overnight. A memoir by Detective Reynold Valera. Reynold? If found, return to Maelstrom. Keep him. Oh, look at this cute art. Acid Vat. I still don't know what this is all about. Oh, there's the movie theater posters. Gothic. Thank you for playing. Alright, cool. That was an interesting game. I wonder if any of the other routes would explain the deal with, what's his name? Reginald? So that's the true ending. I don't think that the true ending is different based on the other routes. I think that's just like yeah. I think we just get different good endings for the other routes, and this is the actual real ending. It does make me wonder how the Twyla and Reginald routes would play out. But yeah, that was an interesting game. It was a lot longer than I expected. It kind of neatly fit into 2 streams though, so that's fine. I don't know if we'll ever visit the other routes, but if you're interested in that, I guess I suggest you go try it out for yourself. The game is actually free on Steam, so you don't have to. The only investment you've got to make is a time investment. As for us, so that's going to be the end of the stream. On Tuesday is the plan for the next stream. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I am planning on starting Dark Souls eventually. I don't know if it's going to be this week, but I'm hoping to start it soon. I just have to, buy the game and figure out which platform I'm going to play it on and that sort of thing. And so I think stream was going to be once that happens, I'm going to mainly focus on that. But we'll probably be doing some Phasmophobia, a weekly challenge type deal still. So it won't be just Dark Souls. I want to, I still want to try a variety of things. I
I might think about adjusting the schedule a little bit so that we can get Dark Souls done faster, or more of it done. So it's not just going to be Dark Souls for like the next month or so. We'll see. I haven't quite figured it all that myself out yet. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out. I hope you have a good night. I'm gonna go get something to eat, and hope to see you around sometime soon. Thank you, bye! And as for the rest of us,